Hey everyone, Commander Josh Hawkins here. Welcome to the live stream. I was just talking to myself, apparently streaming on Twitch, but not necessarily streaming onto YouTube. I think YouTube is working now. Let's, if I can just get a quick confirmation. Let's see. Welcome. Yes, okay. YouTube is working right now. So I'm going to start over because I was just talking to the Twitch audience. Um, And let's start off by saying happy Saturday, happy streaming day. This stream is going to be a little different. We are going to have gameplay, but I want to start off with a bit of a conversation first, talking about, where the channel is, where it's going, because I've been doing a lot of thinking over the past few months. And normally right now, we'd be out there exploring, looking for exo, jumping from planet to planet, scanning, pinging, honking, all of that stuff. Yeah, hey everyone in chat. Good to see you all, by the way. So lots of folks waiting. Sorry I started a few minutes late today. I kind of needed the time to prepare myself for this conversation. So today I want to start off just with a little bit of talk. Because I've been thinking a lot over, the past 2-3 months, I guess now it's been that I've gotten back into streaming after my little break, and where we're at right now, where the channel's going, and honestly, just what makes me excited to live stream. So that's what I want to have an honest conversation with you all about today. And I did think about recording this and just putting it into a quick recording on my channel, but I think I owe it to everyone here to talk about this, because this is what we do. We come here to have good conversation, to have good chat, and I think that's what makes this stream so much fun for me. It's definitely the thing that keeps me coming back. And first, I think the very first thing that I want to say is thank you. Oops, hang on one second here. I gotta stop my ship from moving. Let's stop the ship from moving. Let's stop the ship right there. There we go. So yeah, that's the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you to all of you, because you guys have really changed my life. And I want to say thanks to Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous changed my life. Without Elite Dangerous, this YouTube channel would have never really started. It wouldn't exist at all. And I wouldn't have met so many amazing people that I get to chat with and hang out with, and over the years, play so many different games with. I can't even imagine what my life would be like, to be perfectly honest. Where I would be, who knows? I think, honestly, the course of my YouTube channel really did change my life, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have been a part of this community and have that happen, essentially. In fact, some of my closest online friends come from this community right now. I've seen a bunch of them in chat, people I've been playing games with for years now. We shared a lot, discoveries, expeditions, countless hours out in so many different games, and up to shenanigans and no good and all of that stuff. And those memories are things that I always carry with me, and I look back on fondly, and I look forward to making a lot more. And nothing that I'm about to say is going to change any of that. But here's the thing. I think somewhere along the way, this channel became something that I never actually intended it to become. And I think everyone here knows me as Commander Josh Hawkins, the Elite Dangerous guy. And honestly, I understand why, right? I mean, Commander 40%, that was my nickname for a long time. It's what I've made most of my content on. It's where this channel really started to grow. But if you've been around for a long time, and obviously most of you who are here today, watching right now in this stream, have been around for a long time, you know that that's never been the full story of my channel. We had the broadcast, and on my own, of course, both the broadcast and on my own, we have loved many space games, not just Elite Dangerous. right now I've got Star Citizen on the screen. We've played No Man's Sky. We played, oh gosh, Space Engineers, Astroneer, Helion. I mean, just a few that pop up to the top of my head right there. And I know we've played so many more. Heck, I even tried with very little success to play Diablo 4 and Path of Exile on this channel. And yes, Spooky a lot, you're right. Talkins Tuesdays. Oh, this is a little bit of a different Talkins Tuesdays, though. This is a heart-to-heart that I want to have with all of you. But the truth is that this channel was never meant to be about one game. It was always about my passion for space. And you can see that reflected in everything that I have on YouTube. I have logos for all these different space games. Elite just happened to become the biggest part of that journey. And, YouTube did what YouTube does really well. It made my Elite videos more popular, and it brought people to the channel. So I made more of them, and people subscribed because of Elite. So I just continued to make more. And then eventually, without really realizing it, I kind of got pigeonholed into being an Elite Dangerous creator. And I don't regret that, right? Not even for a second. It really is something that was what allowed me to do what I'm doing right now. But I do think that somewhere along the way, I kind of lost sight of why I started making videos in the first place. And I didn't start YouTube because I wanted to be the Elite Dangerous guy. I started it because I wanted to share my passion for space games. And that was always my dream with YouTube, to explore all of the different universes out there with you, and whichever game those universes happen to be a part of. And over the last couple of months that I've returned back to YouTube and returned back to streaming, I'm kind of sitting down in these streams, and sometimes, I was excited about some of the new things that I was seeing, but other times I wasn't that excited about Elite Dangerous. Not because Elite is a bad game. I think far from it. Elite is one of the greatest space games ever made. I mean, look how many hours of my life I put into Elite Dangerous. I could never say that it is a bad game. There's so much about Elite that has just sucked my soul into it. And I lived within that universe for so long. But as a creator, as an individual, as a person, I think I learned something important, because people can tell when you're forcing it, right? And when you're playing something just because you feel like you have to play it, instead of because you actually really enjoy jumping into it, people pick up on that. They see that there's a lack of genuine emotion there. And I don't want to fake excitement, because I think all of you deserve better than faked excitement. And recently, I have found myself spending a lot of time in Star Citizen. Obviously, you guys watched the last couple of streams, and I think for the first time in a long time, I've been feeling a really strong excitement about it. Not to say that I wasn't excited about Elite Dangerous. I mean, there was a lot about Elite Dangerous when I came back that I did find exciting. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot to be excited about. So it was like a little bit of excitement, a little bit of kind of like fresh injection of something new. But when I got back into what it is that I do in Elite Dangerous, I kind of realized like it's just the same thing that I was doing before. And I don't know if I'm that excited about continuing to do the same thing over and over again. Star Citizen, the more I've put time into it, the more I'm learning about the systems that are in there. I've made a lot of mistakes in it. There's a lot of things that frustrate me about the game. I'm figuring a lot of things out, and I've certainly gotten lost in a lot of the different bugs and gameplay loops in the game. And a lot of things have gone horribly wrong for me off stream. I've quite literally killed myself over and over again. But it kind of reminded me of how I first fell in love with Elite Dangerous. Is just the more I learned about it, the more interested, I found it. And I don't want to compare the two because this isn't about Star Citizen good, Elite Dangerous bad. I really don't see that at all. Elite Dangerous still holds a very special place in my heart, and I'm sure that I will look at Elite Dangerous when they put new things out and jump back in and want to check it out and continue on in some way there. But, I got to be kind of true to what I enjoy, and I don't have tons of time to play games. And right now, Elite Dangerous has kind of picked up that part of me, that excitement part of me. And I found myself looking at the game and going, well, I'd kind of rather be playing this right now. And I really like exploring it. So I've made a decision that moving forward, Star Citizen is going to become the primary focus of the channel, at least for now. And I know that's not going to make everyone happy. And I understand that. Some of you subscribe to my channel just because of Elite Dangerous. And some of you might not have any interest in Star Citizen at all. I mean, I know the last time I streamed, people said, "Oh, Star Citizen, no, don't want to watch." That's okay. I don't disagree with you. I completely understand why you feel that way. But here's what I hope. I hope that some of you weren't here just because of Elite. I hope that you were here because you enjoy hanging out, because you like the conversations, because you enjoy exploring these worlds, these digital worlds together. And I think that's the community that we built. The broadcast was somewhat diverse in what we tried, and people were always interested in the new games that we played. And that's the community that I want to keep building. And again, I do want to be clear. This is not me saying I'm never playing Elite Dangerous again. Elite's given me thousands and thousands of hours of amazing gameplay and tons of fun. And, if Frontier releases something genuinely that excites me, I'm absolutely jumping back in. I'm not closing the door to Elite Dangerous. But right now, I need to follow the thing that is making me excited to start creating again. And yeah, I know that it's a bit of a risk for my channel. I know that YouTube kind of likes niche channels, and sometimes changing direction can hurt the channel. And, I might lose subscribers as a result of that. I mean, hey, that's just the way that it is. I hope I don't lose you guys as my viewers, of course. The thing is, I'd rather build something that's authentic. And my YouTube channel was never meant to be exclusive to Elite Dangerous. And I think I tried to diversify a little bit, but because so much of the community was based around Elite Dangerous at the time, it was hard for me to do that. Now, coming back after many years, I find myself having perhaps a fresh opportunity to take that risk. And it's a risk that I'm willing to take. It's not about chasing numbers. I'm not trying to get tons and tons of subscribers. It's really about what I enjoy doing and what I want to hopefully enjoy doing with all of you. So this is what I would ask of you. I'm not asking you if you don't like Star Citizen to all of a sudden become a Star Citizen fan, right? I don't expect that of anyone. If you have strong feelings about Star Citizen and you don't want to watch that, I completely understand. If you want to kind of see my take on it and what I've enjoyed about it and what's kind of pulled me in, I think that there's an opportunity there for you to learn something new, because I hated this game. I absolutely hated it at first. And I swore up and down that I would not try it, despite the fact that I wanted it to succeed. So I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not asking you to love it. I'm not asking you to become a Star Citizen fanboy. I'm just asking that you give me a chance, right? Give me a chance to show you why I'm excited about the game, and give me a chance to build a new chapter in my YouTube channel with you, because you've been a big part of it up until now. And, at the end of the day, I don't think that the community was really ever about one game. I think it's about us sharing our love for space, our love for exploration, our love for discovery, our love for great conversations. And that's what I want this channel to be. And honestly, I think that's what it always was supposed to be. So I'd love to hear what you think. I see there's lots of chat going on. I'm sorry, I've finished my monologue. I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a look at what you guys are all saying. But let's talk about it, okay? And if you want, I can do some gameplay while we're doing it. There's a particular activity in Star Citizen that's really just kind of like got under my skin and really got me vibing about the game that I'll show off today. It's the stupidest thing, honestly. But it for some reason, it's just got me going, this game is so damn cool. And that's a big shock, right? Like from, I hate this game, I'm never going to touch it ever again, to this game is so damn cool. Something must have happened. So if you appreciate my videos and you trust that, you know, I'm not just going to say that lightly, let me at least show you why. And if you don't like it, if there's nothing in here for you and you don't want to stick around for the conversation, you know, I completely understand. I need to be genuine about what I like and what I'm enjoying and what I do with my time. And so, yeah. Wilkie's World saying, I need a YouTube channel for every single game that I play. I thought about that. You know, I've watched some other content creators kind of go through this same sort of existential crisis, you know, guys that built their channel on one game and suddenly found themselves going, oh my God, I like this other game. And, you know, it's not uncommon. I'm sure that everyone in this channel, and please sound off in chat, if you have experienced this before, you were really into one game and then some other game came out, maybe a different genre, maybe the same genre, but what was the game that you really liked and all of a sudden found yourself playing something else? Because I'm sure we've all gone through it. Most of us here, I know most of my audience are older folks, right? Like I see the demographics. We're 40 plus. You know, most of us are 40 plus. So we've been around long enough that we've played a lot of video games. It's not like you've been playing Elite Dangerous since you were a little kid. We've all gone through this before, and I think that everyone here understands that. Okay, until the next wipe. Okay, I'm going to go back and read some chat here, and I'll start flying off in just a second, but I have to scroll on this screen so I can read some of the chat. Elite fans and SC fans do not really mix well together. Space Clips, I don't think that's true. I mean, look at the guys who are playing Star Citizen right now. Scorb's playing Star Citizen. Greytest is playing Star Citizen. Nuke, Shiv, like these are all Elite Dangerous guys that I played Elite Dangerous with, and they're in Star Citizen every single day. I'm playing it too. So I think that we can mix. I think that there is an opportunity for these two communities to live in harmony and not hate each other. I didn't hate Star Citizen as a game. I didn't hate the community. I just hated the fact that the game was so buggy. But I've learned what the bugs are, what I should and shouldn't do, and what works and what doesn't work. And I'm getting kicked out of the game because I'm inactive here. And just having learned what to avoid doing, I've learned what I can do in the game, and what I can appreciate is that there is a lot to do in the game. And so, yeah, I'll show you a couple of things today. Big fan of both Elite and I'm guessing you meant Star Citizen there. We can love them both. Old Peculiar, yeah, see? Actually been doing space railjack missions in Warframe. Yeah, Warframe's another great game, right? I mean, my buddy pulled me into Warframe for a little bit. I'm not going to say I played tons of it. I played it for maybe about a month or so. But another great space game. Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of like Diablo-like in terms of how you build your character there. They desperately need to update Elite, exploration, more gameplay options. Yeah, Aquatic, I agree. I'm not saying, like, the game isn't good the way that it is. It's just, and I think Elite Dangerous is, oh no. I got kicked out of my ship because I timed out, not in my bed. Oh well, I'm back in a space station. I'll make my way back to the ship. You know, I think Elite Dangerous has always suffered from a bit of a stigma, and people have said this about Elite for years. I mean, I remember hearing this way back in the early day of Elite Dangerous, which is Elite Dangerous is a mile wide and an inch deep. I don't know if I fully agree with that. It's definitely more than a mile wide. It's more like 300,000 light years wide. Inch deep, no. There is a lot to do in Elite Dangerous. And it is not a shallow game by any standard.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
I would just say, and again, I don't want to really compare. I have 4 hours left on this claim. Okay. I don't want to compare Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, but just when we put the two side by side and say, okay, what's the depth of the game? Star Citizen does not have the scale of Elite Dangerous, but it has a lot more activities that are, it has a lot more diverse activities. So if you kind of want to mix things up and try new things, Star Citizen definitely does cater to that a lot better. Why do I have these wicked strains? Hold on one second. And it's not without its faults, let me tell you. I mean, there's a reason why the game is still an alpha. There, let's call that vehicle, and we'll get to my hangar. Okay, I need a hangar here. Get back to chat. There we go. That's better. 10 years ago, you came for Elite, but I stayed with you and the gang. I think you meant gang there, Spooky. Yeah, you have. Spooky, you've been around for a long time. And, you know, much love to all of you folks who've been around from the beginning. I love Elite also. From now on, it's Star Citizen. It's, hey, you got to be true to yourself, Space. You know, that's just kind of how it is. By the way, this is the ship right now that I am, like... let me tell you. You know why I got so excited about the Nomad was the ability to walk around inside the ships. I didn't realize the full scale of Star Citizen's walking around in ships until last stream when Garisu showed off his ridiculously stupid alien ship that you could quite literally get lost in. But I went and rented this ship for the activity that I'm going to do today, which is like just the most chill and relaxed space gameplay I've ever done. It's so relaxing, and it's like zen for me. And I will show it off in a second, but I rented this ship because you can rent ships in this game to go do different activities. And this game, or this ship here, has like a full-on ship interior, of course. Perfect for one person. It even has a bathroom. I don't know what the hell the point of the bathroom is. It's just kind of cosmetic. You got a shower up there and a toilet and a sink. But you can log out in your bed, and that saves your ship wherever it is. You've got your modules that each come out here. These are all like individual components that can be upgraded on the ship. Computer, I don't know what that's for. But it does have a whole bunch of different, like, you know, gun rack storage here, gravity generator, my jump drive, all of this stuff here. Full-on engineering. This is kind of cool. I only recently discovered this with this ship here. But... I mean, you have a whole engineering. You can like click on all of these and like turn them on and off, and you have your configuration for your power. So someone can actually be running engineering on the ship while the other person is flying and doing stuff if you're in combat. And then you do have, this is for the hoppers. So this is a salvaging ship, by the way. Salvaging is the gameplay that I've really been sucked into the past few days and keep coming back to and going, I need to do more and more of this. Grey Test added me as a friend. Thank you, Grey Test. You see, Grey Test's in here too. Anyhow, this is where you eject the scraped materials, the materials that you're collecting, and then they eject into cargo boxes on the side panel. And then in the back here, you've got a little... well, this is also storage. You can actually put a few containers on this, and I kind of shove a couple up there, even though that's not meant for that, just to squeeze a couple extras on there. So this is kind of what I do, is I just store some extra containers, and then I go scrape a few more materials. But, and this is like a nothing ship. It literally is like a nothing ship. It's just a little salvage ship. But it's kind of like a role-specific ship, and... it makes me feel like I'm living on the ship instead of just flying it through a galaxy. You suggest that I make a new channel for Star Citizen? I don't think I need to do that, Space Clips, because again, like I said in the beginning, I don't think that this channel was ever meant to be exclusive to Elite Dangerous, which is why I have many different logos in my YouTube banner. Yeah, the channel name is Commander Josh Hawkins, so I think we could stick with that. I mean, I do play space games, right? Andy K, good to see you. Space is big enough for everyone. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate that. Not sure what I could say. I watch only Elite streams, no exceptions. Other games I can watch records with rewind, but very rare. If I try to explain why, it will take 10-minute speech. Alex, I owe you a fleet carrier. I have a couple billion credits in there already that I'm happy to give to you if you need the money absolutely desperately. Like I said, I'm not, closing the door on Elite Dangerous. I will still continue to play it. But if you absolutely want that loan back, I will be happy to sell it and give it back to you if I'm going to, come back and jump into it a bit more full time when the next update or whatever comes in. So, I understand that, but I would love to hear why you only watch Elite Dangerous streams and what it is you like about that, because maybe there's something in here that you might enjoy watching as well. Sonic the Hedgehog for the win. Okay. Wouldn't mind seeing my VKB HOTUS mapping strategy for SC. Aquatic, I'm happy to explain that. I'm probably going to make a couple of videos just journaling my journey through Star Citizen and what I've learned, because I think there are a lot of lessons to learn when you come into this game. Otherwise, you're going to end up like me in the beginning, which was I hated it. I hated it, even though there were aspects of it that really enticed me to want to come back. I still hated it enough to not want to come back because I was running into those bugs. Once you learn the common bug workarounds, it's actually an enjoyable game. Yeah, that's it, Todd Blazer. That's exactly what it is. Okay, instead of only Elite Dangerous, you should watch The Bear or Patriot as well as solid shows. I am not sure what those are. The game even has rogue planets? Wait, Star Citizen has rogue planets? Okay, I did not know that. Do I know that they wipe everything in Star Citizen? Yes, I do know that they wipe everything in Star Citizen. Not all the time. That's something that I've learned. It is not a, hey, we just wipe everything all the time kind of thing. So, if they do wipe it, and this is technically an early access, and I'm sure it's going to be an early access for a very long time, that's okay. It's because the activities that you do are still fun. And I have a starter ship that when I bought my little starter package for whatever it was, 20 bucks, they give you a starter ship. That ship stays with you. The fact that you can just go ahead and rent ships for very cheap to be able to do the activities does make this very accessible. So even if they do wipe the game, I don't feel like I'm losing anything other than the credits. I'm enjoying playing the game. I'm not too concerned about what I get and then what I lose. I'm sure that the same activities that are, making me interested in the game right now, that are earning me those credits, I can still continue to do them because the gameplay loop is enjoyable. It's fun. Alex says, it's like drinking a beer with friends. You talk about things you both like, and now I like Elite enough to talk about. That's a simple explanation. No rush with creds. Yeah, I get that, right? But, I mean, that's what I enjoy, too. I enjoy just sitting here and talking. Like, that's kind of what I feel like this is like. It's like sitting down with my buddies and just having a beer and talking while I'm playing a game. I've done this my whole life. I've had guys come over. We used to haul our entire monitors, our old CRT monitors, with us in the car just to go to a buddy's house and play video games together. And it didn't really matter what game we were playing. We sat down, we had a chill time, and we had a blast. I'll see. I could show you the activity here, actually, if I am where I believe I am. Let me just pull that off the screen. Hang on one second here. I'm just putting the Star Citizen chat away so that I could see chat on the screen. It's great to see you seeing the great game behind the bugs, Josh. I'm surprised. I was very surprised. But the more I played it, the more I saw the beauty in Star Citizen and the potential of Star Citizen. I mean, I always saw the potential. The potential was always there. I just didn't, it was hard to see past the bugs. And now I realize what I was doing wrong was I let the bugs take my focus off of the rest of the game, and I didn't try different activities. So what I've done over the last week is I've been trying different activities, and the more activities I try, the more I realize that the bugs actually don't impede your ability to have fun in the game. You just have to know those specific bugs to avoid. Totally not against Star Citizen, but you've always seen it as a single-player story cinematic experience, how it was marketed in the beginning, so I really hope that part will become awesome. Space Fox, you know what? I played Wing Commander. I played every Wing Commander. They were my favorite games in the whole world, man. I used to go to my buddy's house and play Wing Commander till my eyes bled, and then when I had a computer that I could run Wing Commander, and hell, I don't even remember which one it was, the one that had Mark Hamill in it, I had it was like 20 discs or something like that. No, actually, maybe it was on CDs. I think it might have been on CDs. I had the whole damn thing, and I really, man, I loved that game. I know that they're doing Squadron 42. That's supposed to be like their standalone Wing Commander, right? It built in this engine. I do think that's going to be exciting, and I'll probably give that a go. But I like the open universe. I really like that. This open universe is what makes the game interesting for me. A kind of a scripted on-rails story is really fun when it's well done and the voice acting is good and it takes you through these intense kind of sequences of like combat and epic battles and all of that stuff. It's tons of fun. But for me, I just want to be able to do what I want to do. So Squadron 42 may be something I explore in the future, but really I just want to come out here and check out the different systems in the game and find the ones that I enjoy and just do those loops. Because just like exploration in Elite Dangerous, I like the loop of exploration. Eventually you kind of get bored of it and then you go, well, what can I do now? Unfortunately, in Elite Dangerous, that means wherever you are, you got to make your way back to the bubble, which is a bit of a task in of itself. In this game here, I mean, you don't have that problem. Just log out and log back in and you're in a station pretty much, which can be a bit annoying sometimes, but, you know, that's just how it is for now. Unpopular opinion, but I had more fun with Freelance 1 and 2 than with Wing Commander. Fight you? I won't fight you on that. Under my high school yearbook photo, it says to each their own, and I am a true believer that everyone should be happy doing whatever it is that makes you happy. And who am I to judge the taste of others? De gustibus non est disputandum, folks. That's Latin. Look it up. So this activity, the salvaging, requires first that you do a little bit of scanning. So there is scanning in this. This is kind of a form of exploration, if you would. And what I'm doing here is I'm pinging my scanner and I'm looking at all of these unknowns, and you'll notice there's a number that pops up in the middle of the screen just below the radar. 15,420, 17,080, 10,000. Here we go. The things that I'm looking for always give a multiple of 2,000. So I know that this one here is the debris that I'm looking for, which is going to be right here. Now I'm going to focus in on my scanning beam. So you can see there's a little, I'm in scanning mode right now. It says 45 degrees right now. So if I ping again, it's going to give me a more precise location there. And if I focus the beam enough and then ping it, it should, oh, gotta focus it one more time. I should be able to now scan that. Okay, the signal is strong, but I'm not scanning. I'm gonna move a little closer to it and then you'll understand how this works. And I am in nav mode, so I'm gonna move relatively quick. Okay, so here, let me slow down. Now I should be able to scan these. Moderate signal. Apparently I'm not scanning them. Again, not always working as intended, but at least I know that it's here from the number. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're scanning. Maybe I didn't have enough power to my radar. So now you can see it's scanned as debris. I did take pips out of my radar the other day. Yeah, it's a bit low. So now you can see it is scanned as debris. Debris is what I'm looking for. And as a salvager, you can salvage debris. These are just panels that'll be floating in space. I don't want to fly past them, so I'm going to slow myself down. And these panels, I can scrape for materials. These are the good ones right over here. I'll show you how this works in a second. I'm going to switch from scanning mode into scraping mode. And I'll just position myself to scrape these. And you'll understand why I say this is the most zen experience. I could turn on my headlights here. So if I switch into scraping mode, now I'm going to bust out my proboscis. This is basically my little needler here. And this thing has a couple different modes. Right now I'm in scraping mode. Oh, crap. I just realized something. I do not have my upgraded scraping module. I'm going to have to go back and get that. I don't know why. I thought I had upgraded it. Maybe I didn't when I rented this ship. But I'm using the cinch scraper module. You can kind of see that it's the top left. It says ready grip tractor beam and cinch scraper. Cinch is the crappy one. I need the ablate scraper module. But basically, there's two ways I could do this. I could turn this scraper on and then just start beaming, and it's so crappy. No wonder it was so slow. But I also have a gimbal on this where I can just aim the beam. Oh, it's so bad. Oh no, I know why. Okay. Because I logged out and I had to reclaim my ship, I didn't have an insured claim. So basically, and this is what sucked me in. I know it's ridiculous. This beam is so small, though, with the cinch scraper module. You're basically melting the metal off this panel. And I mean, you can literally see it falling apart as I melt it. And then I'm just sucking it into my filler station, which you can see over on the right. It says Depot Filler Station Ready. And it's sucking this stuff up. I'm only going to do one panel with this module because it's so bad. And then I'm going to go get my ablate module, which is like an actual mining or actual scraper module. But basically, you're sucking the metal off of this, and then I take this metal and I fill it into crates, and then I bring it to a station somewhere and I sell it for credits. You could take missions, like there are contracts that you can grab for doing this. And I've been kind of going up in the ranks a little bit with salvage, so my salvage rank is a bit higher with the corporation that does that. So you can like grab these contracts if you want to make extra money at the same time. But for me, I just rather kind of come out to the asteroid belt, scan and find these myself, and then just scrape the metal and go fill it. I feel like a real scraper like this. You can also find ships. They can be derelict ships. You can buy contracts that give you the location of ships. You can go and take the modules out of them and break them into pieces and then scrape the metal off of them and even take the construction materials. So like this is just a basic salvaging ship. There's way more advanced ones. And this sells pretty good. In my smaller ship in about 20 minutes, I was making like 130,000 credits. In this one here with the right module, I'm making upwards of 250 to 300 depending on the load. But with this scraper module, this is going to take forever. That's about it, how much I'm making space clips. It's about 250. Again, with this module, it'll take forever. And you can see, like, just because it's so bad, I'm missing, like, so many parts here. I'd have to be, like, very systematic in terms of how I do this. But I'll come back to this. I'm going to go get the other module, and then we'll have to come back. If I put it into tractor beam mode, now you can see I don't even have to fly around it. I can just wait for the beam to stabilize. And as soon as it's stable, I can just rotate this. Never fly without a rebuy, Garisu? Yeah, no. I didn't realize I was going to log out. I didn't log out. I timed out. So once the beam stabilizes here, I can go into rotate, and I can just use my tractor beam to rotate this around. and then flip it to the other side so I don't have to fly around, and then just go back into scrape mode and start scraping again. And I love the fact that it's gimbaled and I can just control this. I will not draw obscene images on this. Sorry, folks. That's just not the way we play, right? But you get the idea. And I'll do a little bit more of this. This is the activity that I kid you not has sucked me in. My son and I played Power Wash Simulator on the Xbox together. And as ridiculous as it sounds, that game is just very chill. It's super relaxing. You're just sitting around blasting a bunch of dirt off of different things until the dirt is all gone. Where's this station here? Hang on a sec. Station is somewhere. Wait a sec. Maybe I can look at it like this. I didn't fly that far from the station. Oh, there it is. Up left. And I kind of find it very much like Power Wash Simulator in a way. Very zen, making money, and saving up to buy myself a bigger salvager ship so I could go and salvage some of the bigger ships that are out there. Elite player charts go down, so I guess this is the right choice. You know, Space Clips, I haven't always... Obviously, there was a time when all I cared about was building my subscribers. I wanted to make YouTube into a full-time job. Anyone who's been here since the beginning knows life kind of threw a bunch of lemons at me, and but then it threw a whole bunch of really good lemons at me. But that also included having a wife and a kid that stopped me from being able to have as much free time as I had, and kind of had to think differently about what I was doing with my time. But I'm in a place now where, I can be streaming again, and I want to stream, but it's not about building the subscribers. It's not about like, hey, how many subscribers can I get? How many views can I get? I do it because I enjoy hanging out with you guys, and I love the chat, genuinely. And I like sharing this with you and exploring these things with you and hearing your different opinions and, what you think about these games. It's not always about the views anymore. I don't think I'm at a point in my life where I can do full-time YouTube. In fact, the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is a bit of a change in the schedule for streaming. My wife, we live in Montreal, and Montreal has a very short summer. Our summer is 12 weeks long, and my wife has a business. She owns a business, and she was working 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, ridiculous hours. And I told her, I said, we need you here on Saturdays. This was before I started streaming again. I said, we need you here on Saturdays because it's too much. My son misses you, I miss you, we want to spend time together. And then, after she agreed to take Saturdays off, I started streaming on Saturdays. And so her and I have talked about this. And I think during the summer, the schedule is going to change a little bit. So we have been going over, what makes the most sense, who the audience is, what the community hours are like, when I can stream that, I can accommodate as many people as possible. And in terms of streaming days, I think what we're going to do is, because I want to accommodate the folks overseas from me, of course, I think I'll be doing Saturday mornings, my time, which will be afternoon your time. I'll do a probably 2 to 3 hour stream Saturday mornings, and then to accommodate the American side of my audience, I'll be looking at streaming during the week, but in the later evening. So there will be 2 streams. So we're not streaming less. We'll be streaming more, just at different times. I haven't picked the day yet for the week, but it'll be a consistent schedule, and I'll make sure to stick to that, with the only exceptions to that being if, you know, we have some family trip or we're going on vacation or something, and that would just be life as usual, right? We can't always escape our family responsibilities. I also, you know, I had said I wanted to make more content, like produced content, and I haven't done that. And I think the reason why has everything to do with what I was saying before, which is that the passion for Elite Dangerous was just a little lacking, to the point that I couldn't think about putting so many hours into it. And I don't know why. Something with the exploration there just kind of feels like it changed. Like, I'm having a really hard time finding really interesting places. I don't know if it's the way that they changed the engine or the whatever it was that they did, but something feels different. And I'm struggling to find those sites that I was looking for before. By the way, this is the module shop here. All those modules I showed off in my ship before, this is where you come to buy them. Oh, but this is not where I need to go. Crap. Actually, I got to go to one of my favorite places on the space station. This is a refinery space station, so we have to go down to the refinery level to buy what I need. Doesn't that ship have exterior storage containment bags? Yeah, it does. Tien, or Bison. I will. You'll see that. I got to go get the ablate module because I can't do salvaging with the default module that comes on the ship. It's terrible. It's so bad. I also need to buy something to drink because apparently I'm dying of thirst. This is the refinery. Apparently, this is where you come. There's a console somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there's a console in here that you use when you have a ship full of ore, and you put it through this processing machine, because that's what this station is for. And it'll refine all your raw ore, and then you can pick it up, and then you can go and sell it as processed ore. But the mining support center is here, and you can see all the different mining heads that you can buy, and kind of like different tools and stuff here. Or your mining spacesuits, I guess. But I got to come over here, and I need to buy the ablate. Oh, come on. Was it really up in Platinum Bay? Okay, I think I'm just tripping out here. This is the rental station, by the way. So the ship that I rented, you could see, like, you could rent these ships here for relatively cheap. I mean, one trip, I make around 250,000 credits. I could rent this ship, you know, for 5 days over. No problem. Make sure I insure my loadout this time. Yes, I will, Scorp. Thank you. Okay. Anyhow, at least you got to see the refinery. It looks really cool. I think maybe the terminals are up there for refining the ore. But I do have to go back to Platinum Bay. My instincts were right. I have to go to the store upstairs to buy the module I need. But this is where you come to buy, like, all the rest of your refining and mining tools. So let's go back upstairs, and we'll buy that. Helps if you go a lot slower with the beam, scrape more, but yeah, the scraper's pretty bad on its own. Yeah, no, that scraper on its own is just absolute terrible. Absolute terrible. Okay, so we're going back to the Galleria. And we're going to head back to Platinum Bay, which is the module shop. Upstairs. The huge SC time sink and all the resetting? Nah. I mean, you know what? What is the huge time sink that... Let's talk about time sink, because that's a good point that you bring up. There is a huge time sink. You have to, you know, go buy stuff. You gotta gear yourself properly. You gotta go do things. Those things involve mining, or scraping, or combat. You gotta fly to the place. I don't see how it's that much different than Elite Dangerous in that sense. you know, or any other space game for that reason. For that, it's a braid. Okay, it's the braid scraper module. Here we go. I think I had 2 or 3 of these. I'll just buy 2, so they're always there. You know, the time sink is, it's only a time sink if you don't enjoy doing what you're doing. There's a very real feeling when you come into a station like this and walk into a store to buy the module that you need. There's a very real and sort of visceral feeling of unloading your ship's inventory into a hangar using a tractor beam that really creates a level of immersion that I haven't felt in too many other games. You guys saw me play Hellion. Hellion, I mean, you could compare very much to Star Citizen, I suppose, in the sense that, you know, you literally had to, like, walk everywhere, pick everything up, you know, get on the outside of the station, fly it around, and dock and do all that stuff manually, and then build your station that you could walk around in, and the ship that you could walk around in, and there was, like, long travel times. Oh, crap. Hold on a second. See, I'm getting distracted. I'm not a good multitasker. So, I mean, Elite Dangerous. You now can get out and walk around on stations. And it is... Some of those stations are pretty damn big, right? There's a time sink there. You got to walk up if you want to go hire those NPCs. Let me buy some drinks here. I don't like these drinks. This is not the drinks that I want. I'll get one of these. Get a few of these. So there's a time sink in any game that you play. It's just whether or not you enjoy that time, right? I mean, hell, I guess... What I did not enjoy about Star Citizen, and here's where I will criticize this game heavily. I did not enjoy wasting my time in a gulag, you know, breaking rocks. I did not enjoy that. That was terrible. That was the worst waste of time ever, because that was a time sink. But, you know, walking around and buying stuff in a station, I don't necessarily consider that a time sink. Once my ship is set up and I have the gear that I need and I haven't forgotten to, like, you know, have my drinks on me, which normally I would have a bunch of these on me. I just ran out yesterday. The gameplay loop is doing the thing that I enjoy, which is just scraping, selling, and that's just one activity. I mean, if you want to go mining, it's mining, selling, you know. If you want to go do combat, it's combat, looting, and selling. None of it is actually a bigger time sink than anything else that you would do in any other space game. It's the prep work, which I think, if you think about this versus any other game, every game has its time sinks into the different mechanics that you have to invest into. In Elite Dangerous, if you want to upgrade your ship, you got to go do engineering. That's a huge time sink. In this game, you want to go upgrade your modules, either go into the station and walk to the store and buy them, or you go and you find them in a military outpost or whatever, and you fight for them and you pick them up. That's a time sink. But if you enjoy doing it, then it's enjoyable, and you don't see it as a waste of time. And that's the differentiation. There is time sink, and then there is waste of time. This is not a waste of time, because it creates a level of immersion that you can only get in a game that has this. At least that's my opinion. You could buy a drink in cargo deck. That is food and drink. Yeah, I know. I just... Oh, in the cargo deck? Oh, okay. Yeah, the cruise drinks. That's what I needed. Here's something that's not really well fleshed out in this game. I mean, again, I'm not saying Star Citizen is the greatest game in the world. I just really like this activity. So I'm going to unequip that. I'm going to put on the abrade module. That's what I needed. And now, hopefully, this does not bug out, because I have seen this happen a couple of times. We'll ensure the loadout. And now we will retrieve this and see if the ship comes up upright or with its nose sticking out of the ground. We all can't have everything. Look, I have said this before, and I will repeat this, I'm sure, ad nauseum. I wish Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous had a baby. I really do. From an exploration standpoint, apparently there is tons in this game that I have not seen yet. And the guys were telling me yesterday that there are all kinds of different planets that I should go check out, and I fully believe that. And I would like to go check some of those out. There's cool places, there's handcrafted locations, like there's all this stuff. And I have spent the last 2 weeks in one system, and I have barely scratched the surface of this system, and there are multiple systems in the game, and I have not even been to them. If I just open up my map and kind of show you, this is the Stanton system. Let me scroll out here real quick. So this is Stanton. I'm at Crusader right now. That's Microtech. That's where my home base was. There's ArcCorp over here. And then there's Hurston. And each one of these planets, like if I just zoom in on Crusader, has its own moons. The moons have locations on them. There's space stations all over the place. There's mining stations. There's all kind of stuff. There's Lagrange points. There's even, and this is kind of cool, I'll show you guys this. This impressed me. There is an asteroid belt around the star that right now does not have any jump points to get to it. The only way to get to it is to plot a course through the asteroid belt, and when you get to the right part of, well, like the right distance from the star, to drop out of your quantum drive, and you'll be in the asteroid belt. And it is vast. I mean, literally goes all the way around the star. And if you're a miner or if you're a salvager, that's where you go if you don't want any other players to sneak up on you, because there's just virtually no way for them to find you out there. It's a vast asteroid belt that has no actual waypoints to it that you can only drop out into. And there's millions of kilometers, millions and millions, tens of millions of kilometers. There are steps to board. Big Al, did I not show you the ship, or were you not here when I showed the ship? You know, the thing I loved about the Nomad was the ability to just walk around inside your ship. And I mean, there's really not much to the Nomad, unfortunately. It's just a very small little ship. This ship here, hell, look at this. I can grab my fire extinguisher, and you never know, could be a fire on my bed. And I could just do that if I wanted to. No real reason to ever do that. But here, let me show you something. I don't know if I scraped enough. I may have scraped enough. No, I don't think I did. When I scrape enough, I'll eject one of the crates, and you'll kind of see how it works. The external panels are here. There's one there, too. So there's like 6 on each side. And then once those fill up, I move a few of them onto the inside cargo. And then I just jam as many into these hallways as I can as well. And then I fill them back up again. And then I fill up my hopper again before I head off to go sell them. Now at least I have the right scraper. You may have been distracted by your 500,000 light-second trip to mission target. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, Nuke says Garizu could tell me all about the fire mechanics. Apparently that's a thing. Here's something that I do find interesting. Every ship in Star Citizen has its own cockpit. Now, I haven't powered this one on yet, so I will turn this one on. Everyone has its own layout, has its own interface, has its own cockpit, its own like colors and everything. Each one is unique in that sense. You're not going to walk into one ship and see the same interior as you would in another. And to a certain extent, you kind of have to take a look at what you have before you leave, because sometimes the stuff is in different places. Like this one here actually has 4 panels, if you would, holographic panels here that I could change. Everything's interactive, by the way. So like everything on here, it's like, I was a big Microsoft Flight Simulator fan, so I flew flight sims for years and years and years. And I loved, you know, being able to click every button. Like I can open my exterior here, I could power off my engine on. I have a self-destruct over there, I'm not pressing that. I can control my my pips and shields and everything from this console if I want. I can see like my target. This is my communications grid here, my radar, and everything works. It's all like actual stuff and things, you know? Scorb saying VR is amazing. Scorb, I tried to get VR working in this, and unfortunately I can't for the time being. I have to run a physical network cable up here to get my computer hardwired in, and that's going to involve drilling on the exterior of my house, which I will have a buddy come and help me do. But for now, I'm not doing that, and so VR, unfortunately, for the time being, is limited. I could just go buy a cable to plug it in manually, but I need to buy the right cable, and I haven't had a chance to stop at Best Buy yet. Oh, how lucky is that? Okay, first scan, I've got debris already. Perfect. We'll scan that. That's going to be debris. Perfect. You'll notice that my screen is turning a little bit red. That's because I'm pulling some heavy G-forces, and I'm not wearing a flight suit. Yeah, even that's a thing in this game. G-forces, you'll get white out and red out if you fly a little bit too crazy. And by the way, I followed a couple of videos online and just completely and utterly changed the performance I was getting in this game, and the game looks and just it's incredibly buttery smooth now. Not that I had bad performance before, but I was able to increase it to a point where I'm getting like over 100 frames a second. So now I have the right scraper module. You'll notice a big difference here. We'll put the gimbal on. Oh no. What the hell's going on? What? Okay. Ah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're scraping. Now we're in business. This is how you make the big bucks here. Now we're going to be melting metal like there's no tomorrow. And I gotta say, I really hope that the animation team, like I think that the animation team at, what is it, CIG makes this? I think that they're about as good as the audio team over at Frontier for Elite Dangerous. Just the way that this works. Like the way that the metal... Okay, so there's a lot of depth to this, by the way, and I should probably explain. You notice if I hold my laser, it eventually melts through to the panel underneath. The instruments are actually telling me what's going on. If you notice that little circle instrument and then there's a bar beside it, that little circle is telling me how thick the metal is that I'm scraping. And if I just go over it, you could see how deep it's going through the surface layer. And if I keep it on one spot, it digs right through it. So that's what that little circle is telling me. How much metal is remaining on that spot and how deep the metal goes. Or how deep the metal that's left is. Below that, it shows me how much I'm getting per second. And that SCU is, I don't know what the acronym stands for, but it's the standard unit of some kind. One of those crates that I unload onto the side of my ship is one SCU. There are larger crates, of course, that the bigger haulers will carry around. But one SCU sells for about 8,000 some odd credits. So you have how many SCUs per second I'm getting, and then the red and green bar to the left of that shows me the distance to the target. So if I back up, you'll notice that my distance is going to decrease, and you want to be in the green for the beam to be working properly. Over on the right hand side, you could see how much I've already scraped in my depot. So you see it says filler station ready. I'm at 4.5. The hopper holds a total of 13 SCU of this material, which is called RMC. I don't remember what the hell it's called, RMC. Someone in chat, Score probably knows. Oh, standard cargo unit. Yeah, thank you, Wilkies. So RMC is just the name of the material, something composites, I think. And then kind of once you've got that side scraped, we'll just flip on over to the other side of it and scrape the rest. So this panel here will give me about 5 SCUs, roughly. Turn my lights on. And so you can see the filler station filling up there, and once it's full, that's when you kind of go to the back of the salvaging ship and you activate the hoppers to start converting, or not converting, excuse me, but loading it into cargo containers for you. There's no real right way to do this either. I mean, it's kind of like mining. I loved mining in EVE Online. I just sat there and shot beams at rocks and got materials out of it. I loved mining in Elite Dangerous too, you know, and before they did the big mining update, it was pretty just plain old boring. I think this here, the visual appeal, I really like it. Like I said, I find it really relaxing. It's really zen. For me, if I'm playing this solo, it's super chill gameplay. You know, I could put some music on, I could sit here, I could have a chat with my wife, I could have a chat with you guys, and just scrape a bunch of material off and make money like this. The deeper salvaging does involve different types of beams and different types of ships where you can fracture the ships and break them into components first, and then you use a disintegrating beam that sucks up the construction materials on them. And of course, the ships themselves will have modules that will sell for money, and you can even repair those and if you want to sell them for more. Recycled material composite. Yes, that's what it is. Thank you, Starsync. Appreciate that. I am still learning what some of these things are. For some reason, I always forget what that one is, though. RMC. Recycled material composite. Move the head a little slower. You know, I found that if I kind of paint it like this, I like to go around the outsides. And so I make sure I get all the edges, because I find those are the pain in the butt part. I just get the edges. I do kind of like to be a little bit thorough. Get the edges off here. And then the interior, I find you can kind of like paint it. I just like the glowing metal, honestly. So going slowly, yeah, you do scrape more of it off in one shot, but it doesn't actually speed up the process. Because you're going to just go super slow, and I found that a little bit boring. So I kind of go like this, back and forth, and you'll notice the SCU per second actually goes up because you're scraping those top layers, and then it kind of breaks apart, and then I just kind of like scrape off the little edge here and get what's left over. And then I have a nice block in the middle, and I'll just kind of like go around and just shrink it down until there's nothing left. But it doesn't seem to speed up or slow down the rate at which I fill my hopper if I go ultra slow like this and suck up every little piece, or if I just go around and eventually get to it. I've timed it. I did some timing to find out what actually works. By the way, all of this is being done right next to a station, so it's like once I've filled my hopper, I'll show you how quick I just fly down to sell this stuff off. The selling is the part where there are some bugs, unfortunately, and it can be a little bit frustrating to sell this. There was, the other day, when I went down to this little planet where I was selling this stuff, the vendor would just let me interact with them and sell what was in my ship. But that doesn't seem to be working anymore. So now you kind of have to like unload your cargo into a freight elevator, and the freight elevators don't always work. That's kind of a known bug with the game right now. And the only way that I've seen to actually make it work is sometimes you have to hop to a different server, and the freight elevators will be working over there. But either way, it's solvable, and usually within a couple of minutes I can just get onto another server where I can sell the stuff that I've scraped up. I'm curious, for all the miners out there, what you think of this sort of resource collecting, salvaging activity versus mining. I haven't tried mining in Star Citizen yet, outside of the hand mining, but I have a feeling that the mining is also going to be a rather fun activity. And when I kind of get maybe enough credits here, I'm hoping to get a ship that's capable of doing some salvaging or some mining. Although I'm not sure if that's a normal thing, if there are multi-role ships for that. You're thinking of mining tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm going to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day with my wife. My mom has agreed to babysit for my co-pilot, and my wife and I are going to go watch Spider-Man. We are very excited about that, by the way. Mining's good fun. Old Peculiar, have you done salvaging like this before? I will say, salvaging ships is actually a very interesting activity. I'll go do one of those after this. I'll grab a ship contract and go salvage the ships, because not only are you going to scrape the ship down, it's really interesting to see kind of like the skeleton of the ship that's underneath all of this metal. But you do also get the modules off the ship. And since you have the salvage rights to the ship, you can go check out the ships as well. And there are some pretty cool ships to salvage. Let's see, where's the other piece of metal that I needed? That one is already scraped. Wait a second. That one's scraped. That one's scraped. Okay, this little piece right over here. Yeah, you can collect the modules too. That's right. You know, it's interesting how something as simple as an activity like this can just get you hooked. And like I was saying earlier, you know, like, I love space mining. I like space hauling. I like space salvaging. I like space exploration. And most of those activities, you know, I'll try it out, and if the gameplay is fun, if the loop is fun, if it's engaging, if it kind of keeps you going like, okay, I feel like I'm actually doing something, then I will continue to come back to it and do it until I don't find it fun anymore. This has that, like I said, that power wash simulator feeling where you feel like you're actively doing it. You're not just pointing a laser at this thing and it just all of a sudden poofs out and your cargo fills up. It has the visual component to it, which is actually very visually pleasing. I really like the metal melting. Little bit of pyro in me, I guess, just watching the metal catch on fire and disintegrate. Oh, there, my hopper is full. You have the active scraping of the metal itself. There's different types. You have to navigate to them. You have to scan and find them. You have the ships, which are also a little bit more complicated because you have to get into all the little nooks and crannies of it to scrape the metal off. So now we're going to fill up. We're using the hopper now. So that's going to eject a crate out the side of the ship here somewhere. Where is it? Ah, so you can see it down there. I can see the piece of it. I could put this on auto. Actually, yeah, I will put it on auto. And we'll throw this one on auto as well. So that's going to eject the hopper. And now this is where this game just, for me, I really love this. This is what I loved about Helion. And, oh crap, I better have my helmet on. Okay. I've made that mistake before, by the way. Not having my helmet on and opening the space door is a very, very bad idea, let me tell you. So now, because there is limited space on the side of the ships, and you'll see the hopper will get going here in a second. It's going to pump another one out and it'll pop it onto the unit over there. I'm going to take advantage of the interior of the ship to load a little bit of cargo inside the ship and free up some space on the outside for more of this. So we got a little bit of EVA going on over here. I'm going to go steal a unit from the other side as well, because that's going to jam up. It's going to goop up my my hopper. And once I've got these in, now I got to do something fun here. We're going to elevator our way up, and jump off over here, and then we're going to steal one off here and squeeze it in. Come on, squeeze in there. Actually, I found it's a little easier to back up. It gets a little crowded in here, but oh no, open. But this is kind of like how you make extra money doing this. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to push it over to the side. These ones, they don't lock to a cargo grid, so it gets a little tricky getting past them. But I throw one over here. I don't want to block my door entirely. And then I will grab one more. No. Come on, open up. Let's rotate this. Come on, squeeze through, squeeze through. Dang it. Open up. We gotta rotate it. Okay, come on. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So we're gonna just put them kind of like on the sides here. Actually, this one I have to put right here. Okay. So once they're here, then I can still access these panels and get out my door, which is important because I'm trying to free up space right now. And now I can put two more here, one in this corner and one in this corner. And now I have the 4 slots left on this panel that I can grab a couple more and throw them on there. So that's going to give me a whole lot of extra room so that we really maximize the ship load. And I'll grab one more from this side. I could probably squeeze more in, to be honest, but it's not that important. I'm going to make a good bit like this anyhow. This is just how I've been doing it. And then we'll close this up. Get a little closer to the button. Oh, you like salvaging in the reclaimer? Starsync, I would love... I haven't even seen a reclaimer in real life. I know they exist, but I haven't actually seen one. But I hear that that's kind of like the end game of salvaging. The reclaimer is like the big ship. It's supposed to be a multi-crew salvaging ship. Grisou and Scorb and Shiv or Nuke, I don't remember who it was specifically that was telling me. Oh, I made a mistake here. Let's get in this door. They were telling me they have one and that we should go and do some of that. Which I'd love to check out sometime. The multi-crew ship stuff is really cool. I know my hopper is going to want me to press the button one more time on this one. Let's eject that, and this one is good to go. Okay, perfect. So now we are ready to continue scraping. You're no rush. I like space. Yeah, thanks, JG Sack. Good to see you, Tack. How you doing, man? I do like space. I'm a little bit of a space nut. Alright, let's melt some more metal. Let's get a little bit more of this goop right here. Space goop. Can you hire NPCs to help crew a ship? Not yet? No. I don't think so. But, I mean, if you have enough... not everyone is going to say that, you know, they want to play multiplayer. I really enjoy the solo activity. I also had a lot of fun in some just very immersive gameplay. Like Scorb and I were playing this the other day, And there was a... so here, I'll start from the beginning and I'll kind of tell the whole story. I was testing out different activities in the game, trying to figure out like what is fun for me, right? What do I want to do in Star Citizen that I'm actually going to think is interesting? And so I was taking a couple of missions. One mission in particular was like to go and collect some ores. I think I've gathered all of this. Let me just take a quick peek here. There's one. There was only 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I got all of them. Okay, so there was this mission to go collect some ores. And of course, one of the ores was kind of like a rare ore. And I was like, okay, well, where do I find this rare ore? So I Google searched, and it says that you have to get it from this one very specific place. And this one place where you get it from requires a sequence of events in order to unlock. It's like there's a cave that's underground, but the cave has to be blasted open with a laser. And in order to activate the laser, you have to first go to 3 different bases, kill off the guards doing all of these different like on-ground, space combat, or not space combat, on-foot combat, bust out the gun and shoot a whole bunch of bad guys, get access into these warehouses, get these key cards. After you get the key cards, then you can unlock 3 security stations, and in those security stations you get these tablets, and then when you get the 3 tablets, then you can go over to the... Oh, there's a... That's actually another ship right there. Hold on a sec. So once you get those tablets, then you could go and activate a radar dish of sorts. And the radar dish aligns to the space station that has the space laser that shoots down. And you have to do this in 3 different bases. And while you're in those bases, every time you put one of the tablets in to align the dish, it starts some initiation sequence, and all these worms and guys come out of the ground, and you end up in these crazy combat situations. That is literally another ship right over there, by the way. I don't know if that's a good ship for me to go check out or not. He's probably mining. I can't seem to get a target on him. Anyhow, once you've done that, and you've aligned the 3 dishes, then you go up to the space station and you activate a console that gives you a key card, and then you take that key card and you go down to the surface where the cave is that you're trying to blast open, and there's a bunker there, and you insert the key card and you activate the laser, and a giant laser comes down and blasts a hole in the surface of the planet, and then you go into the cave and there's this very special ore that you can get in there. I was like, that sounds awesome. I want to do that. And so sure enough, I went and did that solo for a little while. I couldn't barely even manage to get one of the dishes aligned because there's so much combat. So Scorb decided he'd come and meet up with me. And we went out and we started shooting a bunch of stuff. And then another player came and landed at that station. And that station on the ground is not like policed or anything. And Scorb says he doesn't know who shot first. I swear it was the other guy. It definitely wasn't me that shot first. Definitely not. I for sure did not shoot at him first, because I would never, ever shoot at someone first, right? Like, I did not want to kill him and steal his ship or anything like that at all. That was not my intention. But anyhow, I shot at him and we got into this gunfight. And he ended up going onto his ship, and I chased him onto the ship, and he ended up killing me on his ship with some crazy, I don't know, harpoon gun of some kind. And Scorb came down in his ship, and first he crashed into the ground. I watched him fly down into the ground. It was this massive explosion. We laughed about it, and then he had to respawn and fly back again because he doesn't know how to use his space brakes, apparently. Sorry, Scorb. It was fantastic and glorious and a massive explosion. And I heard it from like many kilometers away. It was hilarious. I was like, that was your ship. Yep, that was you crashing into the ground and exploding. Anyhow, he came back, and while I was engaging the guy on the ground, Scorb's in his ship, shooting at the guy from his spaceship, and then the guy uses a tractor beam after he kills me and pulls my corpse into his ship, and then Scorb blows up his ship with me in it and the other guy, and killed us both, even though I was technically already incapacitated. So, yeah, emergent gameplay like that was just kind of fun. That's why I like the open world, coming back to the whole, like, Squadron 42 thing from before. I do kind of like things like that happening. I also, in a different session earlier this week, let me see if I can find another one of these. In a different session earlier this week, was also trying to do the same thing, because I really, really wanted that ore. Went up to the space station and saw another guy dropping the batteries that you get after you align the station. Oh, I think this is one that I want. Yeah. So he was unloading the batteries to fire the big laser, and so I thought maybe I'll go down to the ground and wait for him to come and press the button. Sure enough, he did come down to the ground, and when he went into the station to go press the button, I snuck up behind him, and I definitely didn't shoot first. For sure didn't shoot first into his back there either. But then I went and I got into his ship and I flew it off, not realizing that he had a respawn point kind of set inside his ship. So that was like a live and a learn. And then he came and killed me while I was stealing his ship. But it was a really cool ship, and I thought that I had just got myself a free ship. Unfortunately, that was not the case. But it was kind of fun, not gonna lie. Being able to get into other people's ships and commandeer them for the greater good is definitely something that is fun. I don't know if space piracy is in my future. It may be, though. There's always a possibility that I might become a pirate. We'll see. We shall see. For now, I'm a salvager. And, yeah. Space pirate could be interesting. I don't know, have you ever been a pirate in a space game? Is anyone here playing Star Citizen, actually playing pirate? Oh no, someone's already scraped these. Someone has already taken the medal. You've pirated. It's not as easy now, but doable. What was fun about pirating, or what was the hard part about pirating, Wilkies? Let's hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is just a tiny little piece they left here. One tiny little piece of metal scrap left over. Okay, I'm gonna go take a ship contract, as I'm pretty sure I could probably find one near here. And I'm gonna go check out that other ship that was just over there and see if anyone's in it. If nobody's in it, I'll just... If the shields are down, I may just scrape that ship and take its hull. Because that's what you get when you leave your ship floating out in space. Okay, let's see, where was that ship? We're going to adjust our little beam here. Where did that ship go? It was a Crusader ship. Oh, over here. No, that's not it. Wreckage. Okay, it's not that way. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's go take a look. Giving up the ship knowing I couldn't keep it at the time, and now when reclaimed the older model is bricked and have to be replace all the modules. That's true. There's like some weird thing with ships and the way that they are bricked now when someone reclaims it. But that said, what you can do is you can still salvage the ships. So even though you can't necessarily keep them, you can fly them out to space and have a friend come in with a salvager. Okay, so what is this? A Crusader C2 Hercules. Oh. How do I know if this is a player ship or not? Is there a way to tell if this is a player ship or if this is just a salvage ship? Oh, look at that. It's already half... Okay, this is definitely not a player ship. So someone's already been here and started scraping it. That's perfect. I'm just going to scrape this and steal the metal off of it. Let's get a little closer. Okay, there we go. I'll see the player's name. So if I don't see the player's name, it's all mine. Oh. All right. All of that salvage. So this is what I was talking about. Sometimes you get derelict ships like this. Don't mind if I do. I don't know how much you get off of a ship like this, but it's a bigger ship than mine. So we will just strip it of its metal. And you can already see parts of it have been stripped off. Like you could see the frame underneath it. So we are going to just steal the metal off of this and go sell it. It's actually got a decent amount. I'm not gonna lie, this is fairly large. I didn't realize how big it was, but my beam normally fills up a good bit of space on the salvage. This here, it's just a tiny little piece. I think we can get quite a bit of RMC off this thing. We'll find out. I'm gonna fill up my hopper. Warframe... Wait, when you say Warframe, you can hire NPCs. So what part of Warframe has spaceships? I did not know that... Oh, wait a second. Oh my god, it's been a while since I played Warframe. Right, you do have a ship. You're on a ship and you fly them to the locations where you go down to the ground, right? And then you have all your stations on the ship in Warframe. Is that right? Am I crazy aquatic, or is that what it is? I'm trying to remember now. It's been probably at least a year since I played Warframe. Oh, Railjack. Right. Yeah, TAC. You're JG Sack is a Warframe player. The Railjack missions. There's no space gameplay. Okay. So what's the hiring NPC? There's a ship for going places, but then there's Railjack, which you build a ship. Ah, okay. So I don't think I've seen that gameplay then. I mean, I only played a little bit of Warframe, so I don't really know the game that well. My buddy JG Sack here has played for... Yeah. Yeah, you carried me through pretty much everything, man. Warframe was one of those games that when I first started playing it, I did play it solo when it first came out. I thought it was really unique and really weird, but it didn't really, like... I don't think I quite understood the concept of how you were supposed to play. And then I played with my buddy here, JG Sack, and this guy just, like, blasted... I mean, he runs through the levels so fast, I don't even see what's going on. Like, it's like a race. Floor is lava. Well, here you go. Ship is lava here, JG. So, yeah, but I mean, like, he blasts through them, and then the gameplay that I had with him was just trying to keep up, which is really, really hard to do with a guy who's got, like, crazy blaster account. You fight other ships, board other ships, defend your ship against incursions. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, Great Test, you played Warframe as well. Bullet jumping everywhere, yeah. No, that's it. There's like a mechanic in the game where you gotta like jump and dash or something like that. And that's basically how you get everywhere. It makes you super fast, so you're like quite literally blasting through the level without seeing what the hell's going on in front of you. If you slow down and actually play the game, Warframe is very much like... Well, it's like an ARPG like Diablo in a sense. Just like a looter shooter, basically, without the fantasy aspect of it. It's a sci-fi looter shooter. But it feels more like Diablo than it does like Destiny or one of those other sci-fi FPS looter shooters. The next update in Warframe, Tau, looks incredible. I'll have to take a look at it just to see what's going on with that. I really was meaning to also check out the Starfield. What did they do? They added something called free lanes where you can like fly around on your own. You're not like restricted to where you fly now. I kind of wanted to check that out. I know they also added an expansion to Starfield. Starfield was fun. I really enjoyed the single player campaign. I hadn't played too many like space RPGs, single player RPGs in a long time. At least none that I really finished. And Starfield I actually did. I completed the entire thing. I even started a new game plus. And it's a great story. It's very interesting. And the game is fun. The shipbuilding was great in that game. So I'm kind of curious what the new update brings to it. Factory building, yeah. Yeah, the whole factory building, space base building, ship building, they did a really good job with that in Starfield. It's too bad it's not a multiplayer game. Like, I would love to see, and again, this is a criticism of Star Citizen. The first-person combat in Star Citizen is not polished by any standards. It is not a polished experience. It can be really janky. The NPCs kind of like jank around. They don't have a very big health pool, so it's a bit realistic in that sense. Like, if you're going to shoot your gun at something, they're not just a meat shield that sucks up 200 bullets before they drop. The armor only protects them so much. But the like Starfield has really decent FPS combat. I'd love to see if at some point Star Citizen is able to really optimize the way that their game plays. I hear that they're looking at adding some kind of instancing in the future. So the whole open world concept would change to some kind of instances. I don't know what the instances would be for, if it's just for like a player group or if it's like any individual can open an instance. But that might possibly help their servers a little bit, because I have a feeling that the jank that you get is just a server issue with the number of players that are on here. And it never ceases to amaze me how no matter what time of the day it is that I have logged into this game, and I mean last night it was 2 a.m., there are still people queued up on every single server. Asia server, which is, middle of the night for them, there's people queued up. European server, people queued up. So there's a lot of people playing this game right now. And as you start to kind of figure out more of the systems, it does make sense why they're playing this game. No, Starfield is not a multiplayer game. It's single player. It would be a great multiplayer game. You can have NPCs follow you around in Star Citizen, and they're kind of like your companions. You can marry them even. Have full-on relationships. Just like a good old any good old Bethesda game, pretty much. You have your companions that follow you around and will fight with you. So that's why it kind of feels like you have multiplayer in a sense. It's just NPCs though. You're looking forward to Control 2 and the next Silent Hill, both coming out soon. I'm looking forward to GTA 6. I'm literally going to get GTA 6 for free because I had enough Microsoft credits from just like, I don't know, playing games and stuff, getting the daily points and stuff. I had over $100 in Microsoft credits, so I'm getting GTA 6 practically free. It's going to cost me $20. But I think that's going to be awesome. And I could be completely mistaken here, but I think GTA 6 is probably one of the only games that outdoes Star Citizen in terms of the development cost, right? Like GTA 6 is like $2 billion to develop, and Star Citizen is like $1 billion something to develop. GTA 6 is going to break the internet? Yeah, absolutely. Nuke says instances are supposedly for specific activities only, so like MMO dungeons that you have for yourself and your group. You know, that's not terrible, because if you're looking to do one of those dungeons like we did the other day, where we went down in there, maybe locking that to an instance would improve the performance within the instance. I had really bad performance in the instance the other day, and in that dungeon the other day when we were in there. Not right out of the gates, but as we progressed further into it, the lag started getting bad. Mind you, I was playing on an EU server, so there is that too. But either way, perhaps the instancing would make it a little bit better for people that are wanting to go do like dungeon dives with their friends. I think that would be kind of cool. And then at the same time, freeing up resources for the rest of the open world, so that folks out here doing stuff like I'm doing, or just trying to use a freight elevator, don't get completely glitched out because there's so many resources being consumed. Okay, there we go. We filled up. I will go activate the hoppers. How many Canadian rupees? It was 120 Canadian Monopoly bucks for Star Citizen. Not Star Citizen, excuse me, for GTA 6. Alright, so I'm going to manually do these hoppers now, because I don't want to plug up my rack entirely. I have to do them one at a time. How many do I have on this side? It's hard to tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that side is full, actually. We're not unloading any there. We're just going to unload them on this side. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces free on this side. Perfect. That's one. Okay, we got 3 more spots. Oh, I have auto eject on here. Let's turn that off. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 more. 1. Because if you leave the auto eject on, it will basically plug up your hopper with one of these crates, and then you can't... I mean, I have to take one out and shove it into here somehow in order to unplug the hopper. So I just want to do this manually so I don't plug my hopper. And that way I can just go fill up the hopper with more SCU. So that way when I get down to the ground to go sell this stuff, I can create more crates. More crates to sell. Alright, this ship is looking crazy right now. Look at this. So I've got 6 on that side. I got 6 on that side. I have 2 in the hallway. I've got 2 up the rear and then 4 on the pad. And now you can see the size of this ship. That's why it's taken so damn long to scrape it. It's hard to tell when you're in the cockpit, but this is a massive ship right here. I should have checked it for modules before. But really, I'm just after the RMC. So we're back to scraping. We've got 7 SCU free in the cargo hold right now. I did not realize how big the ship was, but I had a feeling because it's taking so damn long to scrape the RMC off of it. I remember watching during the early development of Star Citizen. The devs were, well, maybe it wasn't the devs. It might have been Chris Roberts and a dev. I don't remember. They were talking about how these ships are built, and it's pretty incredible that each one of these ships is actually made up of different modules and has a skeleton, and you could see how thick the armor actually is on it. This is what determines, like, physical projectile penetration through the armor. And because the armor looks like this, you don't have kind of like these default damage states that, oh, you have 10% damage, the ship looks like this. You have 20% damage, the ship looks like this. Like, you could actually see the damage on the ship where you took damage. Because, I mean, look, the ship literally has deformable armor all over it. So if you get into a big firefight, you could see where exactly you took hits. And it'll damage your armor. Where have I been? You just logged on and saw my stream? Man, you miss watching me. Thanks, Kevin. Well, I've been back streaming for about 3 months now. I had a kid. He's 6 years old. I'm sure at some point he's going to run through this door and do his double-handed salute that he does when he comes on and say hi to chat. He loves jumping in, by the way. He absolutely loves coming on and saying hi to you guys, and he loves when he sees the 07 in chat. So really appreciate you guys being so cool. He almost did get my stream demonetized the other day because he came in after he had taken a shower and he just like dropped his towel and started running around, little naked kid, live on the stream. Because, you know, that's what 6-year-olds do. And yeah, luckily I had to end the stream quickly before he got me banned from YouTube. But that's where I've been the past 6 years. Raising a child, which is a whole other task in of itself. I can't tell you how stressful that is. I know a lot of you guys do have kids, but there's no manual that comes with that. We went out for breakfast, my wife, my son, and my 2 in-laws this morning. And I tell you, this kid, the amount of energy that he had, everyone else at the table was just quiet, and we were all like staring into space in despair because we could barely handle the amount of energy that he had. It was terrible. We're like, why did we have kids again? What the hell were we thinking? It's tough, man. Future of the channel. Am I going Star Citizen? Pebiv. That's where the future of the channel is going to be for now. It is. But I'm not going to be Star Citizen exclusive. And I made this kind of clear in the beginning of the stream. If you go back and watch this in post, I'll have this up there. I spent probably the first 15 minutes kind of giving my speech that I've been thinking about and preparing to talk to you all about over the last few days. That my intention for this channel was never to be just Elite Dangerous. And for those of you who were around in the beginning, you heard me say this. And for those of you who have been around on this channel since the beginning of this channel many, many years ago, you also know that I've played many space games on this channel. Elite Dangerous was what the algorithm picked up on. Elite Dangerous is where most of the community that I built around this channel subscribed from. But it wasn't 100% by choice that it became like an Elite Dangerous channel, or at least known for my Elite Dangerous content. And I came back to streaming about 3 months ago after a long break, you know, having a kid and raising a family kind of thing, and jumped right back into Elite Dangerous because that's kind of what I felt like I needed to jump into. I wasn't even playing Elite Dangerous at the time. The very first stream back was Jump Space with like Greatest and Jan. I think it was Greatest and Jan? Yeah, Greatest and Jan. We were playing Jump Space. And it was like the first official broadcast in like 6 years. And we had a great time. And the audience jumped back in, and I was just surprised to see people were still, you know, getting notifications about the channel, because I kind of left when I had a kid and, you know, had to go and do real life things for a while. But then I kind of felt like obligated, in a sense, to play Elite Dangerous. I kind of like fell back into the same routine of like, well, I'm an Elite Dangerous channel, and forgot that wasn't the only thing that I did on this channel. Anyone who watched the broadcast for the 2-3 years that we were live every Saturday, knows that we played lots of space games. And I was enjoying Elite Dangerous, kind of jumping back into it and playing it for a few months. And it just started to dawn on me that Elite Dangerous was not the only space game out there, and I jumped into Star Citizen to see kind of what had changed in this game over many years. And at first I hated it. I was very frustrated with the crime and punishment system. But when I decided not to be a complete murder hobo and go and kill everyone, I realized, oh, guess what? You don't have to spend your entire play session in a gulag breaking rocks because you killed a whole bunch of innocent people. So I figured out what was some of the other gameplay loops. Right now I'm doing some salvaging, as you can see. I really enjoy this, by the way. The salvaging I find to be very zen, very relaxing. It's I don't know, you know, how you guys think of it in terms of, like, for streaming, but if it's fun to watch, I mean, I enjoy watching the metal melt, but I don't necessarily stream for just the gameplay. I stream for the conversation, and I stream for, you know, the chat and to hang out with you all. I won't just do salvaging in Star Citizen. There's lots of other things that I'm going to do. I want to try out a lot of the other gameplay. The stuff that I did with Scorb and Garisu the other day was lots of fun in my last stream. If you go back and watch last Saturday's stream, Garisu gave me a tour of one of the most ridiculous spaceships I've ever seen in any game ever. I mean, honestly, like, I said so many times, like, this is just stupid how ridiculously nice the ship is. It's stupid. It's unfair, I think, to every other space game out there that ship exists. Because the second that you walk around in that ship, you're like, why do I want to play any other space game if I could have this? And it just kind of opened up my mind to, oh crap, Star Citizen's got a lot more than I thought. A lot more than my little Aurora that I've been flying around with, you know, picking up a crate and throwing it in behind my seat and then flying back and forth to space stations just to sell this. Like, there's so much more to this game than that. And then I started exploring, what are some of these other systems? And I checked out salvaging, I checked out some first-person content, like first-person shooting, and I tried a little bit of trade. I haven't done mining yet, but that's something I want to do. I do want to do a lot more of the multi-crew. The guys were telling me that they have a reclaimer, and we can go and do some of that, so I'm definitely down to check that out and do some multi-crew salvaging. Like, literally, reclaimer, apparently, you have, like, multiple turrets like this. So if I'm doing this by myself, but I could be doing this with, like, 4 or 5 other guys, and we're scraping this ship in half the time or a quarter of the time because, you know, there's multiple lasers shooting off. And then one of the other guys will come in with a hauling ship, and then we just sit here and scrape the metal while they, you know, take the cargo back and go and sell it. And we split the profits and turn this into an entire operation. The Aurora Mark II? I don't know. Is the Aurora Mark... Oh! I saw a ship parked down on the ground the other day at one of these space stations that I was at. And it looked like the Aurora, but it was like a much fancier version of it. The doors were open. I walked inside. It had like a little table in it, and it was like black and green and kind of looked really cool. I'm going to try to come back to the ship, by the way, as soon as the hopper's full here. I want to, like, mark this location somehow. I wish I could. Because there's so much more RMC here, and I don't have to go scanning or looking for it at all. But it looked like an Aurora, and I was like, maybe this is the Aurora Mark II? It was definitely cool. It had almost like an alien look to it. Is that the one? You wouldn't say salvaging looks compelling to you? Planetary exploration, space combat, some of the... Okay, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to finish this salvage run, and then I will go do something else. And we'll check out some of the other things, because there are plenty of activities that I have not done in this game. And maybe... Scorb, are you still online here? Are you still in here? Because if Scorb's still in here, or Nuke, or Garisu, or someone who could point me towards some of the planetary exploration stuff, maybe we go check some of that stuff out, because apparently there's some really cool stuff to see. Okay, we're done. Hopper's full. My ship is full. This thing is a mess. Literally looks like it was dropped in a vat of acid. This ship is massive, though. You could go in this ship and get lost in this thing, 100%. I mean, if you want to see, because this thing has a whole interior too, if you want to see something crazy, look at this. I'm just going to get out of the ship for a second. Make sure I've got my helmet on. Again, don't ever want to get out of the ship without a helmet on. Let's make sure. Okay. Helmet is on. Watch this. I should have access to a lot more ships right now? Okay. I mean, I didn't realize it was free flight. I'll go check that out. Grisu's online. So there's Grisu. Okay. Watch this. I'm just going to fly a little closer to it. I'm in space right now. I'm EVAing. And look how ridiculously huge this thing is. This is what I've been scraping metal off of for the last 40 minutes. Like, that's an intake right there. This ship is massive. It's no wonder it's taking so long. I mean, I could literally be here for an hour and just barely even scraped off one plane of this thing. Look at my little salvaging ship here. It's tiny in comparison. A little mosquito ship compared to this monster. Anyhow, that's this is what I've been enjoying, is the salvaging. You're finishing up some hauling? Okay. Well, all I need to know is where to go. So if you can kind of tell me like where I should go, I could do. I don't mind just kind of figuring it out on my own. I'll go find it for sure. All right. We are going to enter the pilot seat, and we're going to go sell all of this stuff, and we're going to hope that I can sell it. So it's not the size, so they tell you. Yeah. It's not the size, eh? That is not what she said. All right, so there's lots of places you could sell this stuff. This is just where I've been selling it. So now that the salvaging is done, we have to put the landing gear up. We're going to go into what's called nav mode here, and we're going to charge up the quantum drive. Used to watch me when I was playing Elite Dangerous many years ago. Stopped in 2018 after you tried Star Citizen out of curiosity. I haven't touched Elite since. Yeah, you know, Star Sync, I think that's kind of how it goes, right? Now, I asked earlier in chat, I was kind of going on a bit of a monologue, so I don't know if anyone had typed this in, but what's one game that you played that you were really into, and then another game came out and you went, "No, this has got me. This game, I'm having more fun." Which is, again, not about it's a better game, just this game now has my interest, because that's what's happening right now. I'm not saying anything bad about Elite Dangerous. I still love Elite Dangerous. But Star Citizen has my interest right now. It's I'm not going to say flavor of the month. You never know. Might be, might not be. But for now, it definitely is interesting. I told my wife, and she's like, "You see, this is why men end up cheating on their on their wives, right? Because some other girl comes around." I said, "It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all." But I get her point. Starsync. Curious, though. See, so here's a good question for you. The point I was making before is, do you come to a channel, and I realize that there are different audiences, right? Some audiences come to a channel just for the specific game. Other audiences come for the community and the chat. What category would you say you fall into? Is it just for the game that you come to the channel? Or is it for the chat and to see what that particular content creator is putting together. I mean, no judgment either way. I'm not offended if you left for Star Citizen and didn't watch the channel after that. I totally get it. Like, that's why I'm saying I understand there's different sort of buckets that people fall into when it comes to the content that they consume. I'm just kind of curious what you would put yourself into there. For the game, Zorro Computers. Well, Zorro, I'm trying to... Uh-oh, hold on. What happened? Did the quantum drive not engage? Zorro, I'm trying to remember now. Were you here only when I play Star Citizen, or do you come on when I'm playing Elite Dangerous as well? Gary Sue. Yeah, sorry, is it Garesu? Garisu? Garisu? I don't know, Shiv. You tell me. How should I pronounce his name? Garisu. The seamless transition in Star Citizen is really cool, I will say. Oh, Connor, thanks for the sub, buddy. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Hawk Vlog. Like GIF and GIF, yeah. Jerry Sue. Rock and Roll Cat. Oh, Great Test, bro. Thanks for the follow, Great Test. Great Test, you gotta be in here, man. By the way, Nuke and Grey Test, I know I've said this before, and I said it to them the other day. Sometimes I jump into chat, voice comms, and if Nuke is in there and he's talking, I think it's Grey Test. And then the other day, Grey Test was actually in comms. I was like, holy crap, these guys sound exactly the same. It is just ridiculous. By the way, I will say that they did really good with the atmospheric graphics and everything in this game. It looks really nice. When I come down to land here, if we're at the right angle, and I saw it as I was approaching, like you could see the God rays passing through. Look at this, passing through the mountains. You could see how it's creating this crazy shadow through the atmosphere as it passes through the mountain peaks. And the mornings, the sunrise and sunsets and everything is, they could be a little wild. Gotta go, Andy. 07 to you too, brother. Thanks for joining the stream, man. Good to see you. I'll see you next time. Oh, yeah. I had my gear down already. Okay. Almost had a little bit of a accident there. Okay. Let's go down slowly. Nice and slow. Don't want to smash myself into the ground after all that scraping. So this is, by the way, where sometimes the game gets a little iffy. You'll see. You were surprised to see me stream again after all those years? You were pleasantly surprised to see me in Star Citizen. Well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so many surprises he's probably bought and paid for. Yes, you know me. Paying for all my viewers. That's what I do. Because of all the monetization on my channel. By the way, guys, I will let you know, and I will continue to not monetize these live streams. I have monetization rights back again in YouTube. I did get to that level. The way that it works now in YouTube is, well, I won't get into all the specifics of exactly how it works. I'm just testing this elevator to make sure it works. But needless to say, you have to go through certain tiers in order to re-monetize a channel. I've already passed those tiers, and I have made a promise, and I will tell you right now that I will continue to not add commercials into these live streams. I do not want to add that in here. I don't care about the $1.50 I'm going to make for a live stream. I'm glad this freight elevator is working, by the way. And so you can rest assured that you will never see ads, at least not by my own intention, popping up in any of the live streams that I do on YouTube. I do not control how Twitch does it. I am not monetized on Twitch, at least I don't think I am. So I don't know if people see ads when they're watching on Twitch. It hasn't been my primary streaming source, but I am dual streaming, so I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. But I just want to say that for the folks on YouTube, I will never monetize my live streams. Now that I can monetize content, if I produce videos, those will have monetization, and that's usually, you know, whatever the 20-second skippable ads are at the beginning. But I do not want to have people coming to the live stream and being interrupted by commercials, so you shall not see that here, and that is my promise to you. Just do an ad at the end. I don't really care. I'm here for the community. If I had 100,000 people watching me, yeah, it'd probably be stupid not to monetize a channel, but this isn't my full-time job, so, you know, I'd like it to be, you know. If I hadn't had a kid, it's, who knows? I mean, you never know. I might have been doing YouTube full-time at this point, you know, 6 years. It's crazy. I was looking back at my old live streams, and I averaged 140 to 250 views per live stream back then. It's crazy to think. I forgot how many people used to watch the live streams, but that's what I was averaging. It was 150 to 240, somewhere within that range. I was shocked when I looked at the numbers, but yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get back up there ever again. If I'm gonna continue streaming, I don't want to monetize it, that's all. Alright, so this is how you unload cargo. By the way, if you didn't realize what we're doing here, we are using the tractor beam. I did say there was kind of like a much simpler way of doing this, and I don't know if it's just a bug that it's not working right now, but you could just go to the dude in the building over there, and as long as your ship was on the pad, he would just say, oh yeah, you got stuff in your ship, okay, let me just buy it from you, and then it would just like magically disappear from your ship, and you didn't have to do all of this back and forth tractor beaming stuff. But you know, it takes a few minutes. It's not really a huge time consuming thing, and it's kind of cool to say like I moved this cargo, this is my stuff, I'm gonna get paid for it. Let's get this one out of here. Oh, jammed. There we go. Come on out. There you go. Perfect. Alright, and then we gotta go press the button here. We'll put auto, and that's gonna empty itself out. I mean, I wouldn't want to do this if it was 10,000 crates. I would hope that at some point there's like a way to automate this, like have a little robot come out and empty it out, or they just re-implement whatever it was that let me go talk to the dude and he just buys it from your ship directly. There was a dude unloading the cargo. Hold on, how come that's not coming out? Where is it? Let's go. Is it jammed? Oh, it is. Here, let's just continue ejecting. Oh, this happened the other day. It's a little glitch, but I was able to fix it just by putting something on here and then taking it off again. Hopefully that fixes it. Otherwise, I might have to relog to fix that glitch. Let's see. You didn't stop playing Elite because you didn't like it anymore. It's just that you like the vibe of Star Citizen more despite all of its problems. Yeah, that's exactly what it is for me too. It's not that I don't like Elite Dangerous. I think Elite Dangerous is fantastic. Oh no! Okay. Yeah, that one might need a log out to fix it. We could do that without losing our spot here, because I just got to go lay down on my bed. But we are going to load all of this down into the warehouse. Be gone. Down you go. Okay. And then we'll go do a quick log out and log back in. Have I heard of his twin brother? Oh god, you guys. You know what? Screw it. We'll just eject one over here. Maybe that's what we gotta do. No, both sides. Yeah, okay. It definitely needs a log out. So if you have a ship that has a bed in it, like this, and then you lay down in the bed, and you don't do that. Hold on, we'll try that again. You lay down in the bed, you get a log out option. And here, if you log out, this will spawn you back in your ship in this location. If you don't do this, if you log out just outside of your ship or you quit the game, then you will be respawned in the last station that you were basically loaded into. So it's important to have a ship with a bed. The basic starter ship, the Aurora that I got with my starter package, I don't know what they offer now, that one actually does have a little bed in it. I didn't know this, and every time I logged out of the game, I logged back into station, and it was super frustrating for me. This is a very nice thing to know, because if you're off in an asteroid belt or you're out in space and you just want to continue to play in that area and not have to fly back there, you can. You just need to have a ship that has a bed. For the ships with massive cargo size, the Hull C, which can't land on planets, there's an option to auto-load and unload. Ah, okay. Well, that's good to know. Auto-load and unload. That's what I need. Okay, here we go. So now, which way is facing the... It's this side. Okay, so here. We should be good now. Let's see. Filling. Preparing to eject. Yep. Perfect. We're good to go. We may continue. Oh, and guys, sometimes you'll be here and a ship will start to land and the ship is like the size of this landing pad or bigger. It's just crazy. They come down and they're just like massive whales. And when I think about like, okay, am I a space hauler? Am I a space salvager? Whatever the hell you think you are in this game when you first start off, you are just a little tiny peon in this massive, massive world where the size of the ships just get absolutely ridiculous. What I was saying, like, Gary Sue, however you want to call him, his alien ship that we flew the other day just blew my mind. And it just made me go, okay, I want that. I want to have a ship like that I could walk around in that has chairs that look like alien whatever, and you sit down on them, and the next thing you know, you're in a Flight of the Navigator console that just morphs out of the wall, and you're targeting laser alien pew-pew guns and blowing things up. Yeah, I want those. Alright, we get the rest of these, and then we go sell for money. And then we'll go do something for the last 30 minutes of the stream. So, what are some of the exploration things that we could do? Nuke. Gray Test. Gary Sue. what is it that I want to do? One of you guys mentioned like some cool stuff on planet surfaces. Where do I go for that? I hear a ship coming in, by the way. There it is. Ah, that was a bit of a hard landing there, buddy. Alright, let's send this down. That's a tiny little ship that just landed. Looks like a combat ship of some kind there. Now we can go sell. So now that it's all loaded into the warehouse, sandworm? Garesu. Garesu? Garesu. Roll the R more? I don't know how to say it. Garesu. Okay, Garesu. Let's make sure that we're good to go here. Just gonna fly myself over so I don't have to run back after. We'll just land right over here. The weather systems in game are cool. Yeah, apparently they're adding, like... So, one of the things that I've seen on the roadmap, I want to say they called it Genesis. No Star Trek references there at all, of course. They are doing something where it's going to have dynamic weather systems on the planet that will affect a lot of things. And I've been in storms. I've been in rainstorms. I've been in snowstorms where my guy could barely even walk forward. I don't know how the rest of that's going to work with the dynamic weather systems on the planet, but apparently it will affect different elements of the gameplay. And one of the things that was kind of cool with that, okay, 239 is not too bad. I'm on the lower end of what I normally make for selling this, but the commodities do have different values at different times. If I waited here, it could probably go up to like 260 or something, or 290. Anyway, I'm going to just sell it for that. So with the Genesis whatever thing they're doing for planets, apparently it's going to change the way that planets also generate their terrain. So the terrain is going to be realistic in the sense that, like, if you're in a canyon, you'll see more rubble within the canyon because naturally, through natural weather systems, rubble would accumulate down there. You're not going to see as much of it like out in the open, like random boulders. I mean, like, I guess like over there, for example, it would be more... it would have a bit more of a natural appearance. There, that guy just took off fast. Look at him go. Yeah, he is out of here. Okay. See ya, buddy. So it looks kind of cool the way that they're changing the planetary generation. There's a mission in a planet with radiation rainstorm. Well, yeah, so the armor that you have in the game, and if I just open up my armor here for a second, so you can see that my armor has volume, the item type, this is heavy armor that I'm wearing, it has damage reduction, 40% because it's heavy. The temperature rating, that's important depending on the type of planet that you land on and the environment that you're in, because the temperature rating will affect whether or not you can actually step out into that. Very similar to the suits in the on-foot stuff in Elite Dangerous as well, like the Artemis suit. So you have a temperature rating here, but you also have your radiation protection and your radiation scrub rate. The gameplay that we had the other day, when we were down in the bowels of that reactor or whatever the hell it was shooting out like pulses of radiation, and if you stood in it, it charged up your radiation. So you need to have radiation protection for certain things in the game. And then you have, you know, the actual number amounts here, so like damage mitigation, rems per second, all of that. So it's not just cosmetic. One of the things that I've learned is that you can get like undersuits as well that are flight suits. So when you're pulling higher Gs, you don't red out or white out. And that's kind of interesting because that's also kind of realistic, that higher Gs, a flight suit squeezes your legs so that the blood stays in your body where it's supposed to be. And then I don't know what other impact this armor has. I just chose it because I thought it looked kind of cool. But there's light armor and there's medium armor, and I would assume that each one has its pros and cons. I don't know if it's making me move slower or whatnot, but I liked the heavy armor. I'm a heavy armor trucker, heavy armor salvager. But like I said, just don't take your helmet off. And then the backpack, same thing. They have like different capacities. If you ever played DayZ, I kind of feel like this is very similar to the way that like a DayZ type system works with different capacities and different slots for different armors. If I had a different pair of pants on, I could have another slot over here to carry 9 of these preloaded cartridges. This one, it only has 8. Notice how none of the people giving advice... Oh, wait. Notice how none of the people giving advice on how to pronounce Garisu's name are him. Because everyone is right and he's wrong. Yeah. Garisu doesn't know how to pronounce his own name. That would be ridiculous. Is that the name of the planet? Stormbreaker? Okay. Well, you guys are saying that there's other ships available. I'm going to go back to the station where I had parked my other stuff. It was this one, Crew Ambitious Dream. There are ship rentals there. Where do, if it's a free flight weekend, where do I get the other ships if I want to try them? And where's this Stormbreaker planet? If I want to go check it out. Gotta click a button on the website? No. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go click buttons on the website. It's Pyro 4 in the Pyro system. Well, you know what I could do? I could do something that I have not yet done, which is go check out Pyro. I have a ship that's capable of going through the gateway. I got the Aegis Titan Avenger, I think it was called. So why don't I go get my Aegis and then go jump through a gateway, because I think that looks really cool. And I've never done it before, so that would be a bit of exploration. That would be like, okay, let's go see what it looks like to go to another star system. I'm curious, and I think that would make for some interesting looking gameplay. Stormbreaker mission is in Pyro. If I go to Pyro, can I go to that planet that has the radiation rainstorm? Is there something cool that I would want to go land on? Things to do in Pyro. 1, leave. 2, get your kidneys stolen. 3, get the rest of your belongings stolen too. Why not go with the Fortune? Well, because this is a rented ship. And it's going to expire momentarily. I mean, quite literally, it is about to expire. Plus, I don't know, the Aegis Avenger Titan looks cool. You have one with prison? You have a ship that has a prison on it? What? That exists? Okay, I didn't know there were prison ships in this game. But, okay, cool. The landing pad should be right here. I don't know why I don't have communication yet. Where's my comms? Oh, right there. Give me a landing pad, please. I'd love to hear some voice acting for the hailing for landing pads. No landing pad? Is there a holding pattern on landing pads right now? You need more fuel in Pyro than in Stanton because everything is so spread out? Okay. Hold on a second. I gotta get a landing pad here. No landing pad for me. Oh yeah, there we go. I got one. Avenger Stalker has pods for prisoners? Okay. What is the reason to have pods for prisoners? Oh, I was in queue. Yeah, I seen that the other day where it actually gave me a notification. It said, you're in queue, wait time could be like 80 seconds or something like that. There are a lot of people playing this game, which is, yeah, I honestly, I'm kind of rather shocked by how many people were playing it, because at first I was like, this game is crap, and why would anyone want to play this piece of garbage? But now I kind of get it. I get it. Full on get it. Alright, let's bring her in nice and slow. Nice soft landing. I don't want to have to pay any rental insurance costs. We'll turn the engines off, turn off the power, and we'll say goodbye to our misc fortune for now, because this rental is just about expired. I have to bring it back to the rental company. Before I bring it back... Oh, you know what? I don't think I can get my ablate... I've never used a jump point. No, I have not ever used a jump point. We're going this way. All right, one last look at my misc fortune right over here. This is my salvaging ship. She served me well. The rental was, oh! Oh no! That's no good. Okay, that's money we're leaving behind right there. That's definitely no good. Can't leave that behind. No wonder. All right. Send that down. We'll put this guy away. And we'll call up... Yeah. My Avenger Titan is gone. Well, we'll claim it. I don't think I had anything in here... No, that's just the default loadout. So we'll claim the default loadout. The ship went down. And we'll grab my Avenger Titan. While we're in the station, I'll take this opportunity to also go grab a hot dog, because... I don't... Oh, someone said that that's down on the cargo level that I could buy the drink, right? I should have the in-game music on at the jump point? Okay. So where's the cargo level? Is it here? Like, do I go to a docking port, basically? Where do I find cargo level? Let me check a docking port. Oh, these folks are just chilling out, waiting for something. Oh, you go to the gallery. Okay. Not a docking port, then. Food and drinks in the lobby as well. Well, yeah, I seen the food and drinks in the lobby, but I don't know where to buy the crew, or whatever it's called. Not crew. cruise, I think it's called. That that has the food and drink in it. Every time I go look at one of the food stations, they never have it there. So like this guy here, he's got he's got burritos. Burritos and some Dak Galbi chicken burrito. He's got moussaka burritos. And he's got this Vestal water, but he doesn't actually sell the other one. All praise cruise purple. Yeah, exactly. Up at the cargo area. Okay, well, you guys keep saying cargo area. I don't know what the hell is the cargo area. Where do I get cargo services? At this elevator here, right? Okay. Docking ports are for capital-sized ships? Okay, that's cool. I don't have one of those, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. Cruise Lux is the one and only. See, there's Galleria, Habs, and Refinery. So where's the there's no cargo on this. This is a refinery station. So I'm going to go to the Galleria. And then there is a food court here. But I don't think that they sell it. Refinery might sell it too. Oh. This is actually a nice food court. Okay, I've never been down this way in this station before. Here's the burrito bar. Yeah, he's just got the same burritos as the other guy. Just nasty slop. I don't want any of that stuff. Let's see. What do we got here? Elroy's. We got a noodle bar. There's a pizza joint over there. 2 noodle bars. Nope. See, these guys don't have it. Oh. Synergy. This one's okay, right? Like the Synergy also has, the elevator I came up in did not have a cargo option. I'm 90% sure there was no cargo option there. Let me try the Synergy. I think... Oh, I have to go claim it, don't I? Yeah. I'll buy a couple of these in any case. I think the refinery might sell it. I think they sell it at the vendor terminal. You sent me a DM? Let me see. I guess, Scorb, you're talking about the one that I use for Star Citizen, right? Because I don't know that one off the top of my head. I'm not sure if it's my Gmail or my Hotmail. I would have to log out and check. I may need to do that after, though. Because I only have about 10 minutes left. Where's the stairs out of here now? I gotta go back up. Oh, here. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. These are... Yeah, these are hydration and nutrition, right? Not as good as the purple one, I know. But it's better than nothing. At least I can get some nutrition here. Oh, one I can receive a link. Okay. Here. There you go, Scorp. You got me curious now. Glug, 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 glug. Drink up a little bit of that. And I gotta get myself back to the elevator. I should have grabbed some burritos, too. I really want a burrito, like an actual chili birria. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a couple of these. They sound delicious. I am, like, going crazy for a burrito right now. Like, actual burrito would be amazing. Come on, drink up. Drink up, boy. Need to get hydrated. Alright, let's get one of these burritos out of here. Couple of chili cheesy burritos. That ought to satisfy the hunger. That's it? Did I just, like, monster chomp that down in 2 bites? What the hell? Seriously? Okay, I guess I'm not hungry anymore. Good enough. I've got mail? Okay. Do you mind if I go check that after the stream? Because I don't have too much time to go check it out right now. But thank you. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be crazy ridiculous, and I'm excited to go check. Need some good space ambient music to go along with this game. Yes, I do. I thought about just turning on the in-game music because apparently it's not bad in this game. The only thing that I was oh hell, you know what? I'm not monetizing this on YouTube anyhow, so I probably could put music on. Hell, what the hell am I thinking? Let's turn on the music. Let's see what the space music's all about in this game. Next stream, because I'm not monetizing, I will put on some other music. Where's the music at? I have to keep remembering to turn off the in-game chat. Sometimes it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I don't appreciate what people say in there. Okay, helmet's on. I got some drinks. I got an extra burrito. And we're good to go. So let me go. We'll go jump to Pyro, because if this ship just gets bricked when I'm over there, I don't really care. That's fine. Check out State Azure. Great music for games like this. What is State Azure? Is that like on a? Is it a website? Or is it on Spotify or something? Okay, let's go to external and we'll turn the ship on. And we'll turn on the engines. Do I not have pips to engines? I do not have pips to engines. I do have pips to engines. Okay. Need hypo-metabolizing in the effects list? Alright, let's get the hell out of here. This ship's a little faster than my Misk Fortune. And what we'll want to do... Yeah, disabling chat is the first thing I need to do when I get into the game. You're absolutely right. I don't know why it turned on. I know I had it turned off before. So Pyro Gateway is here. So let's root over there. Do I want to go to Pyro, or do I want to go to Nyx or Terra? Like, what? Where's Terra? I saw there was a Terra gateway, but I don't see a Terra system. So there's just Pyro, Nyx, and Stanton right now. Where do I want to go? Do I want to go to Nyx or to Pyro? Terra doesn't work? Angina pectoris? Thanks, Spike. Thanks, Spike. Appreciate that. That was a good chuckle there. So Nyx or Pyro? Pyro for places to see? Done. Let's go. Pyro for places to see. All right. It is 32.7 gigameters. So someone sent you a gift from Roberts Space Industries. Scorb, what did you send me? All right, well, we're going. I'm just looking at what Scorb sent me. Okay, I can't claim it because, again, I don't know which email is associated with my Star Citizen account, but I'm going to look this up. I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see. So Scorb just gifted me a ship. Ooh. I will drag it over to the screen while we're flying. Scorb just gifted me the Intrepid. Light freight. Looks very cool. Engine de Poitrine a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that's the crazy... Oh, God, this ship looks awesome, Scorp. Thanks, brother. Holy shit, you did not just spend that. Dude. Please tell me you have, like, a free code or something for it and that you just did not spend that much money on a ship for me. I don't want to... I can't accept that. That's crazy. Bro. But the ship looks awesome. Okay, I definitely am going to have to go check that out. I really hope... Welcome to the verse. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. You know that we have a lot we need to do together. You're the one with the free code now, Josh? He's my space sugar daddy now. Good man, Scorb. Yeah, good man, Scorb. Scorb is a great guy. Scorb will message me sometimes at like ridiculous hours his time, at like 2 o'clock in the morning in the UK. And he'll send me links to his AI video songs that he's making, which, by the way, if you have not heard his songs, there's a couple of them that I am hooked on. I mean hooked. I listen to them over and over and over. Scorb, what's the name of your YouTube channel? He's got a new YouTube channel. Go check out some of the AI songs and videos that he has made. By the way, my stream looks like it might be a little chunky right now. I don't know if that's just the processing or if that's my internet going on. Tools of the Enemy. Okay, go search for Tools of the Enemy on YouTube and go listen to Out of Tokens and Free. Free is the name of the song. Free is my favorite one, by the way. I can listen to that song over and over and over again. And I have. Probably about 100 times already. Oh, the music's kicked in. Okay. Pyro Gateway. Here we are. So go check out Scorb's YouTube channel, Tools of the Enemy. Listen to Free. It's awesome. He's making a bunch of songs made with AI, although heavily influenced by the Muppet himself. And the videos, if I am not mistaken, are also made with AI, heavily influenced by him. And they are about how AI is essentially kind of taking over our world, in a sense. And every song has an AI theme to it. Really cool content, really awesome videos. A couple of them are very reminiscent of some videos I remember seeing back in the 80s, back in the good old MTV days. You prefer made using. Okay, made using. Gotcha. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, by the way. Do I have to communicate with the jump point, or do I just fly straight into it? Because I've never actually gone into one of these before. I think it's kind of like a wormhole? Maybe? Maybe, baby. We'll find out here in a second. Maybe I'll just check my communications tab to see... Oh, why is this one off? Turn it on. Okay, hold on. We'll turn it on. Yeah, okay, so I don't have to communicate with them. I think I just fly through it. Go near it. Should I be in nav mode or in the normal slow motion mode? Okay, before I enter this gateway, we're gonna put the shields on because I don't know what to do here. Just go near it. Miguel, good to see you in chat. Glad to see me in the verse finally. Thank you very much. You fly up to the front of the lighted path in quantum mode. Okay. Fly up to it in quantum mode. I'm going to line myself up. The music's going. It's very epic, spacey. Miguel, did you compose this music? Miguel, by the way, is just the absolute greatest space music composer. I would only use his music in my videos. All right, let's go. Nav mode. We're going. We are going. This is it. Can't open the gate in SCM mode. Okay, something just went in there. Or is something coming out of it? Is... I think it's open. Follow the path. Yeah, sounds simple. I've seen another ship just flying in right there. Okay, this is cool. Oh, entry requirements met. Yes, because I have a jump module on this ship. Not too fast. No, I'm not going to go too fast. Oh, I'm getting sucked in now. Okay, it's sucking me in. Oh, Jesus. Okay, this is crazy. Fortunately, I can fly better than Scorp, so I should be fine in here. Yo. This is wild. This is wild because you're actively navigating it too. Oh, and it kind of tosses you around a little bit also. Wow. It's not friendly. Okay, we got the music, so at least it's mostly epic. Are those two other ships ahead of me that I'm seeing there? Those two little arrows? Those are other players, right? They're also flying through the gateway. Oh, this is cool. I did not realize that this is like actually like open world here also. Okay. Oh, I'm scraping on the side a little bit much. Okay, scraping. Don't want to scrape the sides. Yo, this is so cool. There's the exit. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, that was super cool. First time I ever went through a gateway. And I guess that's a space station up there. Yeah, Stanton. Oh, Stanton Gateway. Is that a station? Can I go land there? Oh, I can quantum there. It's not passive. You actually have to fly through it. Yeah, no, I totally had to fly through it. I did not expect that. I thought it was going to be like a little bit of like, maybe just kind of... uh-oh. What's going on now? I'm lagging? Oh. My engine's glitched out for a second there. I didn't realize it was going to be that active. Like, it was very active going through that wormhole. And it's seamless. Again, it just makes the entire world seamless. There's 0 loading screens in this game. Like, it's absolutely wild that you have a game with absolutely no loading screens whatsoever. There's something to be said about that. Whatever black magic voodoo they're doing to make that happen. Yeah, watch out for rocks. I got that. Thank you. Okay, let's see if I can get a parking spot here. Stanton Gateway. No, I've already had close encounters with rocks before, and yeah, it's no bueno. Ruin your day, especially in nav mode, because shields are down like that. But I won't make that mistake again. I would love to see this game in VR, by the way. I would absolutely love to see this in VR. And My key bindings for the VKB, by the way, I do have them set up quite nicely. I find that the flying is extremely intuitive. It's not the same as how I had it set up in Elite Dangerous. I did have to make some changes to adjust for the flight model and for the different controls that you have in Star Citizen, but it's not all that dissimilar. There we go. Let's jump out of this ship, which, by the way, this does have a rear cargo. There's my Avenger Titan. For the next stream, I will definitely have to go check out... Oh, I think my stream got a little laggy there for a second. I'll go check out the ship that Scorb has gifted to me. I'm very excited to do that. Let's run on over here. We'll put this one away. I have not explored Pyro at all. I hear, or at least understand, that Pyro is a bit more of a PvP zone system. So I expect that there's going to be some stuff. Before I leave, I should refuel. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I don't know if I'm going to stay in Pyro. I may go back to do some scraping again and do a bit more salvaging during any free gameplay time that I have during the week. I'm going to make an effort to try and record some of what I'm doing because, like I said, I kind of want to journal this new experience from a new player perspective of like how I go from basically nothing to where I'm at, and then hopefully well beyond and into some of the endgame ships that we've seen. I think if you were here at the beginning of the stream, we kind of talked about the future of this channel. I'm not going to get into the whole monologue again, but just to say that it has been a real journey, this YouTube channel and everything that's happened on it, all the Elite Dangerous gameplay, the community that I formed around it. And I'm excited to take this in a bit of a different direction where... Oh, hey, thanks, Miguel. Appreciate the follow, man. Welcome to the Hawk Flock. We're going to have to get the Hawk back on there with the Screaming Hawk. I missed that. It's been a while. And Jan, I don't know if I can steal Jan's Shoot the Hawk sound clip, but got to get that back in here. I did do my first jump. That's right, Starsync. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, yeah, the future of the channel, I'm going to be playing Star Citizen, at least for the foreseeable future. Elite Dangerous is not gone, but I don't want to make promises that I can't keep, so I can't say I will be playing Elite Dangerous at any given time, unless we see there's a big update or something new is being introduced to the game. I'm sure I'm going to want to go check it out. As far as the scheduling goes, this new scheduling... Hey, thanks, Cinzino. Appreciate that sub as well. As far as the scheduling goes... the schedule's going to change. I know you guys are used to 3 p.m. on Saturdays, 3 p.m. Eastern time on Saturdays. The schedule is going to change. I'm looking at early morning on Saturday. I will post into YouTube the exact time, I believe, and I'm going to get up extra early for this, so I might look a little bit tired. I'm probably going to do like an 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Saturday morning. So expect that that's going to be announced. I will announce it in the Discord, in the broadcast Discord. So you'll see announcements in there with details on the exact schedule, but we'll probably say Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So all of you folks over in the UK can watch at a reasonable hour. And then I will also set up to be determined. So TBD, the evening stream during the week, that one will be at around 8:30 or 9 o'clock p.m. and running through till about 11 or so at night. That is, again, Eastern time. So for all of you night owls over in the UK, you'll certainly be able to come and join in. But for anyone who's over on the East Coast of the Americas, like I am, or anywhere in the Americas that wants to join in at that time, it's going to be around, 6 p.m.-ish on the Pacific time through on till about 9 Pacific. So 9 Eastern till roughly 11 or midnight. That's the new schedule. Everyone, thanks for sticking around. And if you are here from Elite Dangerous and you came in and joined from the Elite Dangerous streams and from the Elite Dangerous broadcasts and from all the stuff that I did in Elite Dangerous, and you're sticking around for Star Citizen, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me because, you know, I don't want this to be, hey, I'm going to play Star Citizen and all of a sudden people leave. But I understand that if you made it this far and you're going, nah, you know, I don't think I could sit through another Star Citizen stream, I understand that. And I'll say that, you know, I have nothing but thanks for your support up until this point. I hope that everyone will be interested in seeing some of the gameplay that comes out of Star Citizen. I will say that, you know, just as a space game, I'm really coming to enjoy and appreciate everything that it has to offer. And I'm looking forward to exploring more of what it has to offer because I believe there is a lot there. And if you're skeptical about it, give me a couple of streams and let's see what comes out of this. You don't have to promise to come back every single stream, but give it a chance, just like you gave me a chance in the beginning, and I would really appreciate that. That's all I ask. Anyone who does want to come over and play Star Citizen with me, I am always open to grouping up and doing some multi-crew, multiplayer, whatever the hell you want to do. I mean, this is a different game than Elite Dangerous. I'm not out in the black, so I'm a lot more open to do group activities, and I think that could be a lot of fun too. And I'm sure we'll plan some of the activities on the stream around that, just like we did with the broadcast, doing, you know, group activities and bringing people in. So anyone who's already in Star Citizen, feel free to add me in the game. And I think my name will be right here. It's Commander_Josh_Hawkins. So you could probably add me in the game like that. Just add me as a friend. I'm sure I will accept it. And anyone who's coming over from Elite Dangerous, if you want to check Star Citizen out, please also add me so that we can get together and we can continue this in-game and have some fun. For now, I'm going to call it the end of the stream today. This was a hard talk for me. I know it's a change. And I can tell you from my experience, change sometimes is really good. Sometimes it's really good. So I hope to see you all in the next stream. Really appreciate you sticking around. And thanks for the support, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And this is Commander Josh Hawkins signing off.